Tejaswini ma'am, shall we start?
We shall start at 11:05. 11:05.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So that at that time, Ayush also has not yet joined.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
he will be joining and then we'll start.
Okay.
Ayush is joining. Within few seconds he'll be there.
मुलांना बऱ्याच जणांना माहित नाही तो होम ऍप्लिकेशन पण माहित नसतं होते गेले की बऱ्यापैकी वाढायला लागले
Yeah, it's going
परत
on.
11 नंतर वाढत असते तरी थोडीशी
Right, right.
सर लावलं तरी चालेल रे कुठे प्राचार्य म्हणलं आमचे चालेल लावा
We are waiting for Ayush to join. Mute, you are muted.
Before starting, I would like to tell all the participants that you will be having a question and answer session after our chief guest delivers his speech. So you need to unmute yourself and ask your questions, or you can also post your questions in the chat box. Okay?
पेढा खाऊनच घेते. पेढा खाऊनच घेते. No voice.
Sir, there's no voice.
No voice, yeah. We need to have. त्यांनी
Bhosle, sir. We are unable to hear the voice.
Excuse me, ma'am. Is there any issue related to the resource person for joining?
Yes, we'll check, sir. I think he might be facing some technical glitch.
Yeah, please speak to him, ma'am. Already it's 7-minute delay.
Andhare sir, good morning. Mane sir, good morning. Hello. Hello.
नाही एक पुण्याचं ते करायचं. मॅडम. Why is he not receiving number? Chief guest.
Saili ma'am, please start.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is Sinha sir joined?
Yes, he has joined.
Okay.
I request Ajit Bhosle sir kindly make co-host. Yes, he has done. Thank you.
So a very good morning to all. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome on behalf of Rayat Shikshan Sanstha's Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College, Aund, Pune, S.M.Joshi College, Hadapsar, Pune, and Kasegaon Education Society's Arts and Commerce College, Kasegaon. On the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, departments of English have jointly organized Savitribai Phule Pune University approved one-day national webinar on career opportunities in English language and literature. Dear participants, they say you choose a job you love and you will never have to work in a day in your life. So if you love English language and literature, this is the right place to be. We are going to get a lot of information about different career opportunities and jobs that you can do in English language and literature. Language is not a genetic gift. It is a social gift, and learning a new language is a beginning of being a member of the club. So the community of speakers of that language. I, Saili Gosavi, heartily welcome and felicitate our distinguished chief guest, freelance writer from Delhi, Mr. Ayush Sinha, publisher for One Day National Webinar, Professor Ghanasham sir. We are fortunate to have a profound person, Honorable Professor Dr. Ashok Saskar sir, Chairman of BOS of India, among us. His auspicious presence will certainly enlighten the minds of audience present here. I also welcome the guiding light who make the task of running the colleges smoothly and effortlessly and manage the mammoth task. I welcome the three principals of colleges. I welcome Honorable Principal Dr. Arun Andhaye sir, Honorable Principal Dr. Chandrakant Khilare sir, Honorable Principal Dr. Sambhaji Mane sir, and the success of crossing the registrations, which has gone above and beyond, which could have not been possible with the huge and the hardworking and the enthusiastic coordinators of three colleges, Honorable Dr. Tejaswini Patil ma'am, Dr. Savita Patil ma'am, and Dr. Shahaji Karande sir. Thanks a lot to all the participants for your presence, and as well as on Zoom and YouTube also. I welcome you all for your valuable presence, and I would now request Coordinator Dr. Tejaswini Patil ma'am, Head of the Department of English, to give her opening remarks for the webinar. Dr. Tejaswini Patil ma'am.
Thank you, Saili. Good morning, all of you. On behalf of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College, Aund, S.M.Joshi College, Hadapsar, Pune, and Arts and Commerce College, Kasegaon, Sangli, I welcome this huge gathering of students all over India in this national webinar on career opportunities in English language and literature. I offer the verbal flowers with fragrance of love and affection to you all. We are organizing this program under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the 75th celebration of India's independence in the form of youth empowerment through skill enhancement. In this virtual program, I welcome our resource person, Mr. Ayush Sinha, New Delhi, who is a multifaceted gem you are going to experience through his speech. I welcome the chairperson of the webinar, Professor J. Ganesham sir, founder and general secretary, Indian Society for Promotion of English Language and Literature, ISPEL, and Professor of English, Directorate of Higher Education, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, on behalf of all three organizing colleges. I welcome Professor Ashok Chaskar sir, who is Chairman, Board of Studies, English, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, Pune, as an auspicious presence in this webinar. I welcome Principal Dr. Arun Andrei sir, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College, Aundh, Pune, Principal Dr. Chandrakant Khilare sir, S.M.Joshi College, Hadapsar, Pune, and Principal Sambhaji Mane sir, Arts and Commerce College, Kasegaon as well. In this webinar, there are all students from faculties of BA, BCom, BSc, MA, MCom, BTech, MTech, PhD scholars, PhD holders, assistant professors, and even associate professors who have joined out of curiosity from all over India. I cordially welcome you all in this webinar. With great pleasure, I welcome the students from 23 states of India, including Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Tripura, Bihar, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Goa, Karnataka, Assam, Gujarat, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Odisha, Uttarakhand, Delhi, Telangana, Kerala, Punjab, Haryana, and Maharashtra. When we announced this webinar, we received a huge response from all corners of India. It actually made us contemplate on the thought how students are deprived of such activities these days. Though there is tremendous data available on the topic, no clearance of doubt is done in this regard. So we are now in the position to provide almost all information on the topic and clear all the doubts. In the mid-pandemic period, as it is not over, Omicron is on the horizon, we are facing very unnatural situations. Almost everyone of us has experienced the loss very closely. We have seen starvation, 800 kilometers walk, at most helplessness and dance of death. On the other hand, we have witnessed humanity incarnate as well. The pandemic closed the doors to many established jobs, business sectors, and many people were out of job all of a sudden. At the same time, there were many new doors open in in these very sectors. I read a real life story of IIT students from Bengaluru who started parcel service of biryani in the beginning and later converted it in the hotel as people like the taste. Teaching English, though as a third language, we have experienced that a large number of job opportunities are available for the students. Our resource person will elaborate the topic very well, I know. Many students are confused and ignorant about the channels of job through study of English language and literature. There are thousands in India and abroad as well. When you get proper directions about these sources, you can succeed in your lives. And that is our goal for this webinar. Once again, I welcome you all in this program on behalf of three of our colleges and take your leave. Thank you so much. Over to Sahil again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would now request Honorable Dr. Savita Patre, ma'am, to introduce our distinguished guests.
Thank you so much, Saili ma'am. Here I am. Here I am to introduce our guest of honor, our resource person, Ayush Sinha. He has been working as a writer, columnist, an astrologer, editor, and communication trainer for the past 13 years. He began his career as a freelance content writer for various websites and magazines like Fragrance of Writing, Verse of Silence, Fagnum, P&P Law Chambers, Paper, Kaleidoscope, English Winglish, The Times, Insai, Internet, Spirit Wish, Interview Mocha, Republic World, Drew Reports News, The Speaking Tree, and many on. Because of time constraint, I need to be as brief as I can, although it's very tough for me. Right now, he's working with Los Angeles, that is USA-based news agency, namely Drew Reports News, as a managing editor. Here, 30 writers and 2 editors working under his guidance. In addition, he is working with New Delhi-based institute, namely English Winglish, as a trainer for English language. Besides, he is interested in spirituality and right now associated with American Academy of Yoga and Meditation as a communication in charge. He is master in French language also and tried his hand in translation as well. He has translated a book written by Neeraj Kumar Mahant so far. He has pursued his BBA and LLB from Guru Govind Singh University. Life was not easy for him, yet he coped with it and marks his identity in the world of writing. He is inspirational to all of you because he represents your generation. He knows difficulties, problems, desires, and curiosity of your generation. So I welcome him on this forum on behalf of 3 colleges. Let us welcome such a young and dynamic personality here. He is a tarot card reader also. So probably he is here to turn on your future life card through his deliberation. On behalf of 3 colleges, I welcome Honorable Ayush Sinha ji. Please turn on your video and say hello to everyone. I request the guest of honor of our today's webinar, Honorable Ayush Sinha ji.
Thank you, Savita, ma'am.
Thank
That's
you
such a
so much.
it was a wonderful and generous introduction on your part, and it couldn't have been any better. Thank you so much for that. Uh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are privileged, Honorable Ayuji. Thank you so much. Now I am going to turn to our next guest of honor, who is the president of our webinar, Honorable Professor G.A. Ghanesham sir. He has instructed me not to extend his introduction, not to extend here. So I'm trying my level best to be as brief as I can, although it is again a tough job for me. Dr. Professor G.A. Ghansham sir, he is a professor in English and he is founder and general secretary of Indian Society for the Promotion of English Language and Literature. He is a directorate of higher education, Chhattisgarh, Raipur. He has an experience of teaching students more than 3 decades. He has many books to his credit as an author. He is such a distinguished personality at national and international level. He was being selected by Rotary International to represent India in England for a month in 2005 under Group Study Exchange Program. Similarly, he was accredited and recognized by the IAO, that is International Accreditation Organization based in USA. He has delivered innumerable talks in seminar, conference, and events. Thank you so much, Honorable Professor G.A. Ghanshamji. On behalf of 3 colleges, I welcome him on this forum here. Thank you so much. Again here, I welcome all the participants and last but not least, I welcome the principals of our 3 colleges, Principal Dr. Arun Andhare sir, Principal Dr. Khilazir sir, and Principal Dr. Mane sir. Thank you so much and over to you, Saili. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are now moving on towards our principal address. Honorable Dr. Arun Andhare sir, we are continually impressed with your ability to unite our campus community. You have fostered a sense of support and appreciation that allows us as educators to improve our practice daily. A man with outstanding skill set, the principal of our college, Honorable Principal Dr. Arun Andhe sir, I request you to address us. Sir, you're on mute.
I request Principal Arun Andre sir to unmute yourself.
त्यांना म्हणावं तिकडे अनम्यूट करायचं सांगा, करंडी सर म्यूट करायचं सांगा.
Sir, you are on mute. You can talk.
Okay. Good morning and warm welcome to one and all. I'm very happy to have this huge event organized on the career opportunities in English. I don't want to take much time. Actually, it was not need to have some say time consuming words in between the experts of English, even though the principal of this college in few words I appreciate and express my deep sense of gratitude towards the honorable speaker as well as the president of this function. I hereby salute these two personalities because who are the examples of the career planning in English. Actually, how versatile and diversified career is to be planned and built in the field of English. So these two personalities, Mr. Ayush Sinha and Dr. Ghanasham sir, are the examples of this, and because of that, I thought the letters, Dr. Savita Patil as well as Dr. Tejaswini madam has brought this opportunity to these three colleges. I am thankful to principal and the coordinators of the colleges, another two colleges, Dr. S.M.Joshi College, my friend Dr. Khilare sir, as well as the Dr. Mane sir. Because of their support, we are going to have this kind of event. I again want to express my thanks to the participant, because of without which we can't have this kind of event. So with this, I will stop here. Again, I must have to mention Dr. Ashok Saskar is with us. I am very happy for his presence. And now I request Aile madam to go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Strong leadership is the foundation of any organization's success. And without you, that would not have been possible, sir. Though he held an administrative post as principal, yet by heart he's 100% an academician. I request an impactful leader, principal of Raj Shikshan Sanstha's S.M.Joshi College, Hadapsar, Pune, Honorable Principal Dr. Chandrakant Khilare sir, to address us.
Respected chief guest of this one-day national webinar, Mr. Ayush Sinha, who is from Delhi, the president, Professor G.A. Ghanasham sir from Chhattisgarh. Now we have Professor Ashok Saskar, who is with us, who is working in the capacity of chairman of Board of Studies in English. the principal of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College, Aund, Principal Dr. Arun Andre, Principal of Arts and Commerce College, Kasegaon, Principal Dr. Sambhaji Mane, the participants who are joined online, as Tejashwini Patil Madam has already given the information of the delegates who are participated in this webinar from 23 states of our country. The efforts taken to organize this webinar is Dr. Tejashwini Patil Madam from Kashigaon College, Savita Patil Madam from Aund College, and Dr. Shahaji Karande from S.M.Joshi College, Hadapsar. Firstly, I would like to welcome you all in this one-day national webinar on career opportunities in English language and literature. As the guests are from other than Maharashtra, I take this opportunity. In nutshell, I will give the brief information of our Sanstha. Rayat Shikshan Sanstha, it is one of the biggest educational institute in Asia continent. It is spread over in 15 districts of Maharashtra and 1 district of Karnataka. Why I am telling this information to you? Because the guests are from other than Maharashtra, because the people from Maharashtra, they are quite well known about this prestigious or esteemed educational institute. I'm very much thankful to the organizers that they have given an opportunity to the students from 23 states of Maharashtra, 23 states of India for this online webinar. We have, dear friends, we have assembled here today to deliberate on the nature, function, and scope of the activity run by the Department of English of these 3 different colleges. Principal Dr. Arun Andre has told that it is not the time to make an obstacle between participants and speakers. I don't take much of the time, but we thought this workshop will bring a momentum among the learners to discuss, share, and present their all-sided views on the career opportunities in English language and literature. So once again, I'm very much thankful to Ayush Shinna sir and Ganesham sir, as well as the Chaskar sir, on behalf of these 3 colleges. Once again, I am also thankful to the organizers, particularly the 3 persons, Dr. Tejashwini Patil, Savita Patil, and Shahaji Karande. They thought and they decided to take such kind of activity, and this activity has got also the good response from different states. Once again, I am very much thankful to the organizers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Honorable Principal Dr. Sambhaji Mane, sir, your vision, your wisdom, and your passion for your college is apparent every time, and your constant dedication towards your work is an inspiration to all of us. A man whose hard work ensures learning and growth among the students, none other than Kasegaon Education Society's Arts and Commerce College, Kasegaon's principal, Dr. Sambhaji Mane, sir, I request you to address all of us.
Good morning, everybody. Just 1 minute. We are here for one-day national webinar on career opportunities in English language and literature. We have dedicated this webinar for 75th anniversary of independence of our India, and it is named as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. All dignitaries and students participated in this national webinar In this August gathering, I am here to present my thoughts on the current educational scenario and pathways for the future of younger generations. Since March 2020, we are surrounded by the black clouds of COVID-19 and educational field, especially students are suffered about their career. It is said by one philosopher that your positive action combined with positive thinking result in success. So what we expected to do is to convert every situation in positive one. I am sure this webinar will help the students and all participants to improve, enhance their career in English. On this occasion, I welcome you all in this webinar, and I conclude my speech because the chairperson and the chief guest, we have to give more time for their speech. Therefore, I conclude my speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And the wait is now over for all the participants. We are moving towards the deliberation by Mr. Ayush Sinha, sir. And we are fortunate enough to have a profound person like you among us. You are a genius and a source of inspiration for all the students who are pursuing and are searching the opportunities in English language and literature. I kindly request Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Ayush Sinha, sir, to start your deliberation.
Thank you, Sayali ma'am. Thank you so much. Uh, Dr. Tejaswini Patil ma'am, Dr. Savita Patil ma'am, Professor, Principal Dr. Arun Andale sir, Principal Dr. Chandrakant Khilare sir, Principal Dr. Sambhaji Mane sir, and Professor Ghanshyam sir. Without you, the program would not have been possible at all. So first of all, let me thank you all for this wonderful program. And I look forward to a great time with all the participants over here as well. Thank you so much once again, you all. Thank you. Let me share my screen, then I can start. All right. So that's the day my journey started. It was my father's demise when I was merely 11. At the age of 11, I lost my father, and it brought about a certain distance between me and the outside world. And what did that distance do? Generally, we are all running in some way or the other. For instance, if I have to get to my airport and I'm getting late, I'm already late, I have no time left, then of course, I can't attend to anyone asking for help. I'm running to the airport. And if I have to observe the nature of a crowd, I must be distant from it. I must not be part of it. If I'm distant from it, I can look at the crowd. I can understand the nature of the crowd, the movement of the crowd. And that's exactly what happened when my father passed away, when I was merely 11. And that day I realized that nothing in this world could be as beautiful as the moment we wake up in the morning and find our loved ones and ourselves saved, because 156,000 people die every day. And thus millions of people lose their loved ones. You wake up in the morning and find yourself safe. What could be as beautiful as that? You've got another life to live. That's where my journey started, where I saw that life is eternal, dynamic, it's all around. And then I went into the search of the mysterious. I was in search of the mysterious and the question is, why was I in search of the mysterious? The whole world is rooted in duality, that of light and darkness, men and women, up and down, left and right, respect and disrespect. Then if you're running away from darkness, you must be running after light. If you're running away from the right direction, you must be running in the left direction. If you're running away from disrespect, you must be running after respect. I was running after the mysterious because I was running away from my loneliness. There was a void created by my father's demise. And that's where I entered into the world of mysticism, spirituality, religion, organized religions, scriptures. And I would spend most of my time at temple, church, gurudwara. You may be surprised to know that I had no formal education at all. I belong to a state where you can attend schools, where you can attend your classes without any formal education. So, of course, I was not at all interested in academics. That was my condition. And I went on reading. I just wanted to read. I wanted to understand the nature of the universe at that time. So this is not something that should endorse not attending classes. Of course, I'm not I'm not supporting that in any way. So thereafter, I got into religious studies, becoming a complete parrot. Wherever I would go, I would quote the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, the Bible, and people would be impressed. I had become, as it were, a pundit by that time. And as I had become a parrot, I was attracting the spiritual as well. I brought about a great connection. I brought about a great team of authors, spiritualists, monks, nuns, and I went into rigorous reading and studies of all subjects, for instance, philosophy, uh, mysticism, spirituality, religion, literature, all kinds of literature, be they Russian or British. And I went on reading. There came about a time, because I never went to school, of course, I had no attendance over there, only 2% of attendance. I went on reading, and by the age of 16 or 17, I realized that I'd already gone through around 1,000 books. So that was the turning point of my life. And as I had got into a good connection, I had got into a good circle of authors. I began as a book reviewer at the age of 10. I started reviewing their books. They're my favorite authors. There was an author at that time named Vineet Kumar Bansu from Haryana, and he was a bestseller. I've just forgotten the name of his book. It was I Am Heartless, and I started reviewing their books at the age of 11. I wanted to become like one of them, of course, and as time passed by, of course, I was a child at the age of 11. I began as a freelance writer. That poor grammar. I would, of course, be called out because of my poor grammar at the age of 11. I did not have that kind of fluency. I did not have that kind of mellifluence. I did not have that kind of command over the language. I had to work on grammar, I realized. And then I was determined to work on my grammar to the best. I went on reading grammar, be they Macmillan or Renan Martin or Michael Swan. I went on reading grammar, and my first priority was to attend to grammar to the fullest, to have a great command over grammar. I was obsessed with grammar. Every night before sleep, I would be sleepless. I would just go on reading grammar books. I would keep flipping the pages of grammar books every night. That was my condition. And I must say that at some point of time, I'd become a maniac as well when it came to grammar. So I had become a grammar Nazi, but by that time. And as I went on reading grammar, I began as a grammar teacher at a local school at the age of 16. It was the local school around, and there would be students. So at the age of 16, of course, they had called me for fluency because they found me fluent at that time. And my interest was grammar. So they would send me to their classrooms for fluency classes, and I would conduct grammar classes at that age, which of course they would not like. And that's how I entered the world of literature as well. And there was a realization by that time, at that age, I realized that truth has, of course, it cannot be monopolized by any structure, any organized religion, and any guru. Truth is independent of all social structures. So I had realized this by that time, and all that I wanted is to be one with truth. That was my desire. That was my burning desire. And then as I started working as a freelance writer, I worked for a low payment as well. There were a lot of mediators working over there, and I was forced to work at a very low payment. I started with 40 paise per word, I think, merely 40 paise per word. I would earn 400 rupees for 1,000 words. and I was exploited. That's how my journey started. And then after a year, because I had already started editing for some blogs, websites, after a year, I was invited by the Times Internet to freelance for them for their blog, The Speaking Tree. It was quite unexpected that time. I was too tender. I was 16 or 17. I didn't even have a PAN card at that time. And they wanted to have a PAN card for my joining process. I joined the Times Internet and moved on thereafter. And then it was my own blog. I was working with an engineer, Fragrance of Writing, and this blog had hundreds of reviews and interviews published during every year. Hundreds of reviews and interviews were published every year, and it was my blog. It went on, and it got me into a stronger circle of authors, reviewers, writers, researchers as well. So this blog went on well. Of course, it went on well, and we earned a lot through a lot of means as well. For instance, AdSense, and then interviewing a lot of authors, reviewers over there. We would be paid over there. So it was my own blog. And I started this blog at a very tender age, at the age of around 12 or 13. And I had not imagined that it would become a source of income as well. It had become a source of income by that time. My partner left me, and this blog was plundered then. We didn't work thereafter. We didn't publish interviews. We didn't publish reviews over there. And I had to leave it off, unfortunately. And then I went on getting stabler, becoming editor for quite a few magazines. In fact, as I wrote more and more, as I had already written hundreds of articles for various websites, magazines, book publishers, I became editor for a lot of magazines as well. Magazines like Fagnum, Verse of Silence, and that's how I got stabler, because I would be paid better over there. And then I started freelance. I started working as a freelance editor with a lot of independent authors, publishers, websites. There were a lot of websites available. They wanted editing. I edited for them. There are a lot of authors as well. Today's authors, of course, need editing, undoubtedly, because today we have got more and more authors working, more and more people are interested in the world of literature. And it was never like that in the past. So today we have got better people, and we have got larger number of people interested in publishing, authorship, and readership as well. So you have a great, I think all of us have a great possibility to work with these people interested in the world of literature. I got a chance to work with independent authors as well as their proofreaders, translators, and as their proofreader, translator, editor. And there are a lot of publishers as well at the same time. Today, a lot of publishing houses are there. You can create your own publishing house. All that you need to have is to register a company. That's exactly what you need to do. You need to register a company, and then you can have your own publishing house over there. And all the rest of the things as to printing, marketing, and distribution have to be taken care of as well. You can have a separate team for that. So there are more publishers today you can work with, and there are more websites today. So there's a great possibility in today's state to work with independent authors, publishers, websites. I think 3 or 4 years ago, I joined a leading news company. It was based in Los Angeles. And my boss was Drew Sims, and Drew Reports News was the news company. I started working for them as a managing editor, and there were 30 writers working under me, along with 2 editors working on news articles every day. All the news articles were American. And that's where I got exposed to a unique work culture. That was another turning point of my career as well. And then as I had 30 writers working under me, 2 editors, 30 writers, there occurred a great idea to me that I could outsource as well. I could have my own team where I could freelance, where I could provide others with content, others who required content, with great content, of course. There would be editors under me and there would be writers under me. I could have my own company. So it was a great attempt of mine to start my own company, though it failed for some reason or the other, because I was not serious and I had been engrossed in a lot of other activities as well. But it was a great source of earning, I must say. And I went on earning for a couple of years with merely this idea of having a company, outsourcing over there. And a couple of years ago, I joined as a communication trainer at an institute, English as well. I was invited by them. I was not sure if I could be a speaker. I had never been sure about myself. I was invited by them to be a speaker over there, and they wanted me to communicate to their children, to their students. And they asked me if I could work over there as a communication trainer. I joined them a couple of years ago, and I'm still training a lot of students over there who are preparing for various examinations to go abroad. And it's going wonderfully well. I never expected this. And some of those students wanted to join me personally, of course. So I have my own students today. I have to conduct some sessions every Sunday, every weekend. I have to get some time out for that. So it's been great as a communication trainer, undoubtedly. And the most spectacular change was my joining Republic TV. I mustn't say much. I can't say much about it because it's, of course, an internal matter that I should not bring out. But I joined them as their senior journalist. I joined them as their editor in Noida. And I came across immense dissatisfaction. I had to leave the organization in a couple of months because of a lot of problems. I brought about 2 resignations. The first one was rejected by them, and then the second one, of course, I had to force it, and then I resigned over there around a year ago. And I joined American Academy of Yoga and Meditation as its operational manager, communication in charge. It's premised in Tennessee, and it's headed by Dr. Indranil Basu Ray, who is a cardiologist, electrophysiologist, scientist in America. He is one of the biggest names in yoga and medicine in the world. And it's always been a pleasure to work with him hand in hand. And I got an opportunity to come closer to the world of yoga and meditation as well. Though I have been meditating myself since the age of 11, because that's what got me stable, only meditation. And communication, being an astrologer, as I was interested in a lot of subjects: mysticism, philosophy, literature, history, epistemology, geography. I got into astrology and palmistry as well, and started working as an astrologer. And one thing that I can say is that I may speak on the importance of communication. And if I say, you may ask me, what's the importance of communication? I will say that it's important anywhere and everywhere. No matter whether you're a doctor, you're a teacher, you're a professor, you're a principal, you're an astrologer, you may be a street astrologer, you may be a street palmist, but it's going to be important to you. And if you're a great communicator, you have great convincing skills and you have great manipulative skills as well, undoubtedly. So communication is going to be useful everywhere and anywhere. I found communication useful when it came to the dissemination of the science of Indian culture as well. When I travel and when I talk to others who are not acquainted with the Indian culture, they do not know anything about Indian culture, they're not aware of the Upanishads, they are not aware of the Vedas. I communicate to them, and I have the capability, because of that ability to communicate, to translate the Vedas, to translate the Upanishads. So Sanskrit has been close to my heart as well. And when it comes to the dissemination of the science of Indian culture, for instance, astrology and palmistry, communication is going to serve a great purpose. Undoubtedly, the English language is spoken by most of the people on this planet. So it has a paramount role to play over there. roles that have been played by me. I worked as a book reviewer. I worked as an interviewer. I worked as a blogger in my boyhood, in my earliest boyhood. I worked as a freelance writer then, and then I worked as a freelance editor. It's all chronological over there. It has a certain chronology. And then I attempted to have my own company as time passed by. I worked as a journalist, I worked as a columnist, I worked as a poet, an author, and then for my own passion. I have never worked for merely a source of income. It's been my passion. I worked as a communication trainer, Vedic astrologer, palmist, tarot card reader, and Vipassana meditation trainer as well. And what are the opportunities? That was the question. What are the opportunities that you may come across as well in the world of literature? So I must say that there's an immensity of opportunities available. First of all, you can be your own author if you're interested in writing, if you're close to the language, if you're close to literature, if you love literature, you can be an author like Ruskin Bond. He had a pathetic childhood as well. His father passed away when he was merely at 10 or 11, 13, I think. And then he lived in loneliness. He was secluded by his mother and his relatives. So of course he lived in the lap of Mother Nature, and he had a lonely childhood. He became an author, and I'm sure that some of you must be going through the same as well. So authorship, of course, is a great option. And then the conventional one, you can be a lost professor or teacher like Richard Feynman, always immersed in the mysteries of the world. There are immense. There's this ineffable scope of finding out mysteries. So you can be a good professor, you can be a good teacher, you can be a freelance writer at your favorite place, no matter where you are. You can be a freelance writer. You may be in the US, you may be in India, you may be in India working for some company in the US, or some company in the Middle East, or some company in Australia. So you can earn as well. You have a great scope of earning over there, no matter where you are. It's something remote. And then freelance editor or of either fiction or non-fiction, you can be a freelance editor. And then you have to decide whether you want to edit fiction or non-fiction. Editing fiction, of course, is a little tougher because then you have to take care of a lot of factors like plot, and then how the story is moving. When it comes to non-fiction, it's quite dry, and then you do not have to take care of other things like plot and the rest, the flow of the story, the characters, the character building over there. So you can act as a freelance editor if you're a good proofreader as well. And then with your literature degree, some people may be confused saying that you can be a journalist only through your journalist degree, only through your BJMC degree. But you can, of course, be a great journalist if you have great writing skills, if you have great speaking skills, only with your literature degree. I must say that you do not even need to have a literature degree. I had a law degree, and I worked as a journalist, as a senior journalist. So you do not even need to have a literature degree or a BJMC degree. You can be a wonderful journalist, no matter what degree you have, with your skills, with your writing skills, speaking skills. And then communication trainer, you can communicate, you can train others when it comes to communication, others preparing for examinations to go abroad, like TOEFL and IELTS. You can of course work for them, and you can train them as well. Librarianship, if you love books, what could be as beautiful a place as a library? This is something that I would like to do as well, though I have not tried it out. But this is one of the best places for bookworm. Information and research. This is going to be useful anywhere, no matter what organization you're working for. You have to have information, and you have to bring about research as well. So this is going to be useful everywhere, no matter where you are. Advertising and public relations. Why not? Even diplomacy. If you have good communication skills, writing and speaking, you can advertise for any organization, for any company. And then you can take care of PR as well. Advertising means you are paying for connecting to the public, for showing what products you have, what services you have. Public relations mean that you're communicating to the public, you're not paying. So you can be you can play a great role over there for advertising and public relations. That's another great scope. And then translator and proofreader, undoubtedly, you can act as a translator. You can translate from your mother tongue to the English language as well. Your mother tongue may be Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati, and if you have a command over that, you can translate into the English language, and then you can proofread as well. Proofreaders are paid well as well, undoubtedly. Proofreaders are paid well, and they have got opportunities everywhere, in every organization, not only publishing houses, in every organization they have got opportunities. And then the rest of the opportunities, publishing, MBA, you can pursue MBA, and then publishing as well. You can have your own publishing house, as I said. You can bring about your own publishing house. All that you need to do is to register a company, and then you have to have printing presses. You do not need to have printing presses. There are a lot of printing presses available. Bring about your own company. And now you can take care of marketing, advertising, editing, book designing, distribution. So these things have to be taken care of. And for that, you need to have a separate teams, I must say. But you can have your own publishing house over there. And that's a great scope. MBA, you can pursue, you can move on to pursue MBA. You can pursue law, as I did. I was interested in law because I was conditioned by my family to pursue law. I didn't want to pursue law, so I'm not practicing. I do not wish to practice either. I still love the world of literature. Paralegal, it means you can work with lawyers, and you can assist them having drafts. When they present a case to a particular court, they have to have drafts. And for that, they need help. You can act as a proofreader, you can act as a translator, you can act as an editor over there, you can help them draft as well. So you can act as a paralegal. And then transcription. What are transcriptions? When medical prescriptions, when the audio messages, audio medical prescriptions are translated, they're just translated into the language, a particular language, and they're written over there. So into the written form, you translate, you convert them, you convert the audio voices, the voice messages over there, the voice prescriptions into written prescription. That's called transcription. That's the process of transcription. Then you can work as an HR executive, and for that as well, you do not need to have an MBA degree. All that you need to have is good communication skills, a good command over the English language, and you can work as an HR executive for any company, be it a media company or a publishing house. Every company needs an HR executive who can take care of hiring and everything relevant to employees as well. So what are the ways? I must now, this is my next slide. What are the ways to the different world of literature? As I cast light on that, the first is authorship. And you can be a ghostwriter, you can be a self-published author, you can be a conventional publisher as well. What is the difference over there? There are a lot of publishing houses available. As I said, there are a lot of publishing houses available, and they have to take care of marketing, distribution, and the rest over there. For that, they will ask you for a certain amount of money. That may be 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, depending upon the publisher. And then you can pay them, you can pay the publisher, and you can publish your own book. That's called self-publishing. That's not conventional publishing. That's called self-publishing. And what's the average income? What's the royalty that you receive? You receive 40 to 60% of what they earn. 40 to 60%. They were a great problem, and I must cast light on this during this webinar. We do face a great problem over there because a lot of publishing houses hide what they earn. They never let you know what they earn, and then thus you do not receive the royalty that you deserve over there. So that becomes a problem over there with self-publishing. And then when we move on to traditional publishing, you do not need to pay anything. They will take care of everything, marketing, distribution, and the rest, and they are going to pay you. But they pay you only 10%, not more than 10% of what they earn. They take care of everything, marketing, distribution. You do not need to pay even a single penny over there for publishing, for the process of publishing, but they pay you 10%. And this is a fact that they earn far more than those new publishers that I was talking about as well. So you do earn a lot, but the percentage is small over there. You do earn. I did not say that you don't. And then you can work as a ghostwriter as well. I've worked as a ghostwriter for many authors wanting good stories, good books over there. And then per book, you can earn even 10 lakh rupees. You have a possibility to earn even 10 lakh rupees over there. And what are the courses and degrees that you should have for being an author? I must say that all that you need to do is to have a good command over the language, to have love for the language. But apart from that, you can have a bachelor's or master's degree in the English language, not a prerequisite though, as I have said over there. And DU, JNU, BSU, St. Xavier's College, Mumbai, Elphinstone over there, and then these are good colleges. Of course, these are the best colleges over there for the English language. And what are the tips? Reading, writing, speaking, blogging. You need to develop, you need to hone your skills. And what can you do for that? Read as much as possible, read voraciously, read rather indiscriminately, write as well. When you read, write, because each and every thought you must see must be connected to a word. There cannot be a word without a thought, and there cannot be a thought without a word. So a word is a thought itself. And if you want to have more and more words, if you want to have better sentence structures being used in your stories, you need to read as much as possible. You need to think as much as possible. And for thinking as well, you have to use the English language. And the mental ocean is such that the deeper layers of the mind have created the surface. So the deeper layers are, of course, the subconscious. And when you keep repeating something, for instance, if somebody asks me, hey, what's your name? I say Ayush. I don't take even a single second. And somebody asks me, hey, what's the difference? What's the distance between the sun and the earth? I do take time. Why? Because the first question, the answer to the first question was part of my subconscious, because I have repeated it. I have on and on repeated it. It has become part of my subconscious. So a particular language becomes part of your subconscious when it's repetitive, when you repeat it on and on, when you use it wherever you go. So that's something that I may suggest as well. If you are in love with a particular language, you should be repetitive so that it becomes part of your subconscious, just like your name, just like your address, just like your parents' names. So that's something that I can suggest over here: reading and writing. Read as much as possible, then write as well. Because when you write, it's meditative, of course. You're observing your feelings, observing your emotions coming out on a sheet of paper. And speak. You can speak, and I'm saying that because that too is a process of repetition. You repeat something. So speaking, of course, is a great option. And then blogging, because you have to write. And you can directly, you cannot, if you're just a beginner, you cannot directly move on to to blogging. I'm sorry, to writing for a website. So blog, you can have your own blog. It's free, of course, blogspot.com over there, and many other websites as well. WordPress, right? You can have your own blog and publish and share your writings with your loved ones. Let them read. Let them tell you what you can improve, what you can work upon further. So blog, you can blog and you can write whatever you want to write, depending upon whatever you love. In the field of literature, you can write fiction, you can write non-fiction, you can write stories, you can write essays, and that will settle you as a good writer as well. Lecturer or teacher, of course, one of the traditional ways you can be a lecturer or a teacher, and at both private and public universities across the globe. Across the globe, I must say, you have got opportunities abroad as well, not only in India. If you've got good communication skills, you will automatically develop good connection. And then you can go abroad. And if you love this country, which is, of course, one of the most beautiful countries in the world, you can stay over here and work at both public and private universities as well, and schools, undoubtedly. And the average income maybe 1 lakh per month. And you need to have a master's degree in English literature with UGC net if you want to be a professor. That's the prerequisite over here. And and if you want to be a teacher, the B.Ed degree is there. And then the same as above, the colleges that I talked about, what colleges you can join, the best colleges over there, DU, JNU, PHU, St. Xavier's. These are the best colleges, and you can look out a lot of websites publishing what are the rankings of colleges as well. Like shiksha.com and many others. You can have a look over there at all the colleges in the rankings and ranking table as well. That won't be a problem, I'm sure, in today's era full of technocrats. So that won't be a problem in any way. And then what's the tip? Good reading, of course. Read as much as possible. Just read voraciously. Read as much as possible. Read all genres. You do not need to limit yourself to one genre or to one piece of literature, one type of literature, Russian literature, or something else. Read as much as possible. Write and speak as well. You need to be a good communicator to be a good lecturer or teacher as well. If you are a good communicator, you can be a wonderful lecturer. You can be an effective lecturer as well. You have efficacy then. So that's paramount. It's paramount to be a good communicator. And then we move on to freelance writer, freelance content writer. Today, we are in the world of globalization where we are selling. Each one of us is selling something or the other. And then all of us, for selling, for advertising, for public relations, need to have content. And for that, we have freelance writers and content writers working. You can work for corporates over there, a lot of corporates, a lot of publishing houses requiring content as well, a lot of scopes over there in the marketing field, promotional, and there are content mediation companies as well. I must say that I worked for a content mediation company. And what did they do? I had an attempt to bring about my own company as well, like that. This content mediation company had a lot of writers, they had a lot of editors, and they would have clients, and they would mediate over there. They would act as mediators, and they would earn over there. They would pay salaries to their writers. They would earn from their clients, and the profits will be there. That was the concept. So that is a great scope. You can work, you can have your own content mediation company, or you can work for these content mediation companies all around today. There are many content mediation companies, and some of them are available on Fiverr and the rest as well. So there are a lot of websites where you can offer your own services, or there are a lot of content mediation companies where you can work, or you can have your own content mediation companies if you have got enough time and enough exposure as well. So you can mediate content. That's called a content mediation company. A lot of content mediation companies are there, like Pepper in Mumbai. You must have heard. Pepper in Mumbai is there. Spirit Wish is there. Spirit is, and I've worked for both of them, and they are two of the best companies in India today. So you can work for Pepper, you can work for Spirit Wish, you can work. There are numerous. I think there are numerous content mediation companies available. And what can you earn over there? Let's have a look at that. 50 to 70,000 rupees if you work full time over there as a writer or editor. And you do not, all that you need, I must say that all that you need to have is a good command over the English language, nothing else. But there might be a prerequisite. You might need a bachelor's degree in English literature, and that's perfectly fine. You can have a bachelor's degree in English literature to have a depth, to have a deep understanding of the language itself. And the colleges are the same as above, DU, and then Elphinstone, and the rest over there that I suggested to you. And as you get more and more experienced, you can start working as freelance editors. How? What is editing? A writer has written over there, and you're going to polish it many ways, grammatically, stylistically, and that's called editing. And you can do that only if you're a good writer yourself. So to become a good freelance editor, or to become a good editor, you must be a good writer yourself. You must have a great command over the language. And you can do that only if you have a couple of years of experience as a writer, and you have a great command over the language or a grammar over there. You can be an editor for fiction or non-fiction. So fiction, a little, of course, I must say it's a little tough because you have to take care of a lot of things over there. Plot and the flow, characters, and the rest over there. But when it comes to nonfiction, it's quite dry. It's like an article, it's like an essay, and all that you need to take care of is style over there, and grammar, and whether the paragraphs are connecting to one another. There is a flow, there is certain mellifluence over there. That's it. So you can earn more than 50 to 70,000 as a freelance editor. As an editor, you can work for many media company, media houses like Republic, the Times Internet, and they have their websites. You can work for them. All of them have their own websites. You can work for them. You can work for publishing houses. You can work for independent authors. So a lot of opportunities over there as well. And what's a prerequisite over there? I must say that some publishers do want to have a prerequisite, and that's the bachelor's degree in English literature. Though I must say that the majority over there they do not ask you for any degree. All they need is your experience. All they need is your expertise. So you can have a bachelor's degree in English literature so that you have a great scope and so that you do not get stuck anywhere. But that's not at all a prerequisite, I must say. All that you need to have is a good command over the language. And what's the tip over here? My tips are that you should be a good reader again. You should be bookworm for being a good editor. Bookworm. Why not? You can read at least 1,000 books in 5 years. You can do that. 6 years. You can go through at least 1,000 books in 6 years. And then you do not need to have any bachelor's degree. Nobody can stop you. You do not even need to have a degree. I started working at the age of 12. I didn't even have a single degree. I had no formal education. I had no teacher. Unfortunately, I have never had teachers. I taught myself. Teach yourself. You can do that. And we will discuss that later on at the end of our of this webinar. Let's move on to our next role that we have: journalist. At media houses, for digital media or print media, you can be a journalist and you can handsomely earn 50 to 70,000 rupees per month. That won't be a problem at all. It will become a little hectic for you. That's the role of a journalist. Every time something breaking coming up and you have to attend to it. So you can be a journalist and work for media houses, for digital media, for print media. And for that, you do not need to have a bachelor's degree. Though they ask you to have a bachelor's, it's preferable to have a bachelor's degree. Most of them will ask you for a bachelor's degree or a degree like BJMC, Bachelor's in Journalism and Mass Communication. And what are some good institutes for that? Symbiosis, TU, Indian Institute of Journalism and New Media, the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, the Xavier Institute of Communication. Many of my colleagues working at Republic were from the Xavier's Institute of Communication, Mumbai.
Ayush, one sec. Can I just?
Sure, ma'am.
Can you be bilingual with Hindi?
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course. Yes, yes, yes. Both the websites are available. So for instance, Republic had Republic World and then Republic Bharat as well. And it means that you can have both Hindi and English. So you can use both the languages over there, English and Hindi. And not only that, they have their websites in regional languages as well. So you can have Gujarati, Marathi.
So can you deliberate in Hindi and English?
And are you asking me to deliberate in Hindi?
Yeah.
I must say that it might be a little difficult for me, and I might lose my lock once, so or I might not be able to put it the best way. So pardon me for that. Yeah, thank you.
If possible.
Yeah, all right, I'll do the same. Yes, definitely. I'll try it. I'll surely try it. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Uh, and let's move on to communication training. You can be a communication trainer, and you can, as I said, you can train your students preparing for going abroad, and you can prepare them for being a good communicator as well. You can turn them into good communicators, and you can work independently or at some institute. There are a lot of institutes available, so you can work for those institutes, or you can work independently as well as a communication trainer. And what is the income over there? You can earn I think you can surely earn 1,000 rupees per session, and one session is that of 30 minutes. So for 30 minutes, you are receiving 1,000 rupees if you're a good communication trainer for 30 minutes. So you can work as a communication trainer, and all that you need to have is good communication skills and nothing else. You do not even need to be an English major, or you do not need to have any other English degree. You do not need to be a journalist over there. Nothing is required. All that you need to have is good communication skills. And what are the colleges? The same as I have suggested for a bachelor's degree in the English language as well. So these are the colleges again, the colleges that I suggested to you. And what are the skills required to be a good communication trainer? Good speaking, command over grammar, a strong command over grammar. You just need to have a very strong command over grammar, because you are, of course, training those students and they make a lot of grammar mistakes while speaking. So a good command over grammar, good speaking skills, and good writing skills as well. So that is how you can be a good communication trainer. And then librarianship. You can be a librarian at schools or colleges or private or public libraries. You can open your own library over there and be a librarian. You can be working at schools, and there are a lot of libraries now. There's a great scope of having more and more libraries, though we are moving towards technology and we do not need to have paperbacks. But of course, we have a great possibility of having a larger number of libraries today, and you can earn at least 30 to 40,000 per month on average as a librarian. And what is the degree? Over there, there's this degree, library and information science. There is a bachelor's degree available in it. And apart from that, there's a diploma degree available in it as well. So you can have that degree. And there are some institutes working for that. Jamia Millia Islamia, University of Mumbai, Banastali Vidyapit. So all these colleges available. And all that you need to have for this is love for books. So love as much as possible your books, and that's the best way to be a good librarian as well. And then information and research. So information and research is going to be used everywhere, no matter what organizations you are working for. For instance, I joined American Academy of Yoga and Meditation a couple of months ago, and I had to work on a lot of books over there. I had to work on a lot of projects over there. And for that, I had to have information and I had to have research as well. So I worked upon these two areas because I was good as a communicator and I was good at the English language. It was not at all a problem for me. For instance, I have to read a research paper. It won't take more than 40 minutes, 50 minutes if it's of 7 pages, 10 pages. So information and research is a great option over there at corporates, colleges, universities, and various other organizations, as I just mentioned. And then you can earn more than 30,000, 40,000 on average per month. And you can have a bachelor's degree in English or library and information science. That degree is available as well. And the colleges are the same as above: Jamia Millia Islamia, University of Mumbai, and many others. And all that you need to be is to be a good bookworm. Read as much as possible. Advertising and public relations. You can be an advertiser. You can be a good diplomat as well. A private diplomat working for private corporates, of course, working for corporates over there. And then the scopes are there for all organizations and publishing houses. They all need advertising and public relations. You can work for them. You can work for media houses as well. And you can earn at least 40 to 50,000 on average as a professional working in the field of advertising and public relations. And you can have a bachelor's degree in English or BGMC over there, which is going to be a great support in your career for the field of advertising and public relations. And the colleges over there in India are Indian Institute of Mass Communication, National Institute of Mass Communication, University of Mumbai, and then UPES Dehradun. Some of them I think are private, and some of them government. So all that you need to have is good communication skills, writing skills and reading skills. That's it. And then you can move on to pursue MBA. That's my next role over here, because you're a good communicator, because you have good communication skills, you have good manipulative skills. You can be an MBA professional, and you can earn no matter where you have graduated, no matter how you have studied, but you can earn at least 60,000, 50 to 60,000 on average anywhere in India. And I am sure that most of you must be aware of the colleges available for that. The best colleges, the renowned colleges, IIM, XLRI, and Symbiosis. What are the skills required for that? Good analytical skills, leadership, and communication skills. That's it. You need to have good thinking. You need to have a good thinking process, and you need to have good leadership skills. You should be a leader. And then communication skills. That's it. Of course, communication skills are ubiquitous. They should be utilized everywhere. Translator and proofreader. You can work as a translator independently or with publishing houses. You can work as a vocal translator. You can work as a book translator. You can work as a translator if anywhere, of course, if you have good communication skills, if you have a good command over two languages, Hindi, English, or Marathi English, Gujarati English, or any other language, you're bilingual, you have an advantage over there. You can work independently for authors, or you can have your own publishing houses, or you can work for publishing houses as well, and you can earn at least 50,000 per month on average. You can be proofreader, I must say. And at the beginning, I remember, I look back around 8 years ago, I would earn 25 rupees per page. So if there was a book, 25, 30 rupees, at least 25 to 30 rupees per page, where the font is 12 or 14. So yes, that's a great option as well. A proofreader, a translator. A bachelor's degree in the English language will be a great support for you. And the colleges are the same as I have suggested above for editing. All those colleges for the English language. And what are the skills required? Just be a bookworm. Just go ahead, read as much as possible, be a bookworm. Law, you can pursue law because law requires good communication skills, good convincing skills. Law requires a great command over the language, no matter whether you are a justice or a lawyer. So if you're a lawyer, or if you're justice, I'm sure that you must have a great communication skill, and you have a great command over the language as well, while drafting or while writing judgments over there. You can work as a lawyer at legal firm, labor courts, civil courts, criminal courts, legal advisors. You can work as legal advisors as well. I'm sorry. So you have immense opportunities in the field of law as well. And LLB is pursued after secondary education, post-secondary education, post-secondary education. And you need to have a graduate's degree over there, and then you can pursue LLB. So, yeah. And then what are the colleges available? NLUs after CLAT, the Common Law Entrance Test over there, CLAT, IPU, Indraprastha University, that where I pursued my graduation as well. DU, AMU, Jamia Millia Islamia, Nirma University in Gujarat, Lloyd, these are some colleges, private colleges over there available. And to be a lawyer, you need to have good communication skills, thinking abilities, interest in the framework of society. Most of the lawyers I have seen, most of the law students at the college I was pursuing my law at, I saw they were more interested in bare acts. They would mug up bare acts, merely acts that this act, IPC, Indian Penal Code, says this in this section, but they did not have a good understanding of the framework of society. Thus, they never entered the field of law. And it becomes too important that you must have a great understanding of the framework of your society, the society that you are living in, to be a good lawyer as well. You can mug up your bare acts or your theories any day, all the theories written in a book, all the acts over there, but understanding the framework of society is too difficult and it takes time. So to be a good lawyer, you need to have a good understanding of the framework of society as well. And then you can work as a paralegal or medical transcriptor as well, where you can work with lawyers or medical professionals, translating the voice prescriptions of medical professionals, converting them into written texts So that's a great option as a medical, in the field of medical transcription. And paralegal, it means you're helping lawyers or legal professionals, law professionals come up with good documents. So you're helping them, you're assisting them. So that's called paralegal as well. Then you can work as at legal firms, independent chambers of many lawyers, and then you can work at medical facilities like private clinics or hospitals for medical transcription by your doctors, by medical professionals, and you can earn at least 50,000 on average per month with that scope in that field. All that you need to have is a postgraduate diploma. You can have a diploma, and what are the diplomas are available? There's a diploma for transcription, for instance. And what are the colleges offering that diploma? The colleges are Tagore Institute of Medical Science and Research Center, I got to know. Tagore Institute of Medical Science and Research Center, and then Asian Institute of Medical Sciences, the second one, and then Parul University. These universities are offering you courses in medical transcription. They have their PG diploma courses available for the field of medical transcription. So you can, I'm sure all the details are available on the websites of these universities, of these colleges, but the details are also available on websites like shiksha.com. So you can check them out. That won't be a problem in any way, I think. Communication skills, of course. Skills required: communication skills, science skills, research skills, listening ability. You need to have a great listening ability. And to be honest, most of us do lack listening abilities. We can understand what is right before us only when the mind is silent. We can see what is before us only when the mind is silent, not when it's full of thoughts, chaotic all the while. Because thought, which is a response of memory, is a product of the past, and the past has nothing whatsoever to do with reality, because it has turned into the present, everything changing every second, everything being impermanent. So because we are full of thoughts, because we are full of chaos, we are not able to see what is right before us. We are not able to be one with whatever is right before us. So it's very important that we should have a good listening ability to have a good understanding of what's right before us as well. So yes, listening ability, that's paramount over there. And then you can work as an HR executive in consulting and professional services, recruitment, banking and finance, education and training, and telecommunications as well. So you can work as an HR executive. HR executives are required everywhere in today's state. It's a growing now. It's growing. The role of HR executives is day by day growing. So that's a wonderful scope. You can earn at least 50,000, 60,000 rupees on average per month. And though it's not required that you should have a management degree, but you can have a degree, a bachelor's degree. It's a prerequisite that you should have a bachelor's degree in any subject. And if you wish, you can have a BBA, you can have an MBA. But it's a fallacy to say that to be an HR executive, you need to have an MBA degree or to have a BBA degree. No, not at all. You can have any degree if you have got good communication skills, managerial skills, administrative skills. You can be an HR executive undoubtedly. So an HR executive works as right, at different organizations, and that's scope over here. And what are the institutes if you want to pursue BBA, MBA? IIMs are there, XLRI there, Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, UPES, and many other certificate courses are available as well for becoming HR executives. You can have certificate courses, you can have PG diploma courses. It's not at all required that you should have a bachelor's degree in business administration or a management degree in business administration, master's degree in business administration. What are the skills? Amiability, you should be friendly, of course, because everyone loves friendly faces. If I'm laughing, I look better, not when I'm too serious. So when I'm too serious, I cannot attract people. People do not like to sit by me. So you should have a happy face first. You should have amiability. You should be friendly. You should be approachable so that employees reach out to you and talk to you about their problems. And then you should have good communication, undoubtedly, leadership skills, negotiation skills. They do work, I must say, because I've come across a lot of HR executives and they are good negotiators. They know what salaries to offer you. So you should have good negotiation skills, and then you should have good questioning skills as well when you're interviewing your employees, potential employees, I must say. So good negotiation skills, good questioning skills, leadership, and then you can be a good HR executive. How to avail yourself of the opportunities? I must say that you can. We talked about a lot of opportunities available over there, but why is it so difficult for us? Sometimes I do feel that we are too dependent on society around, on our teachers as well. And because we are too dependent, we do absolutely nothing. We are just imposing all the while upon our teachers, doing absolutely nothing for ourselves. So I think what we can do for ourselves is to be is being one with the beauty of literature and the English language. If you're pursuing English, if you're pursuing literature over there, you are bound to be one with the beauty of literature. So be one with the beauty of literature. Read authors that you love. For instance, when I was growing up, I loved reading Fyodor Dostoevsky. One of the most famous books of Fyodor Dostoevsky is The Brothers Karamazov, and it's part of Russian literature. It's one of the most celebrated works in today's date. I love Ruskin Bond as well. So I had some favorite authors that I came across, and they acted, as it were, as my teachers, as my gurus. And you can look upon them as your gurus as well. So first of all, you need to be one with the beauty of literature and the English language, because you're pursuing it. You should respect it. And most of us, to be honest, when we see in India, education is more about survival than about living. And there's a world of difference between surviving and living. So education should become part of your living, and not a small part of your survival. You should have it not because you want to earn well. You will earn well if you have it. Believe me, you will earn well, wonderfully well. There will be hundreds of opportunities to earn. But if you are truly educated, you will be living life, which is something different from merely surviving. There's difference between survival and living, because this is what you're going to do throughout your whole life. Then you must be doing something you love doing. So it's up to you. You have to choose it, and you have to do it for your living and not for your survival. That's where we distinguish between surviving and living when it comes to our educational system. Our educational system is more premised upon survival than upon living. And there's, of course, I talked about it, this world of difference between surviving and living. And when there is love for a certain thing, one is bound to make the most of what is available before one. If you love whatever is right before you, you're bound to make the most of what is available. You're bound to take advantage of what's available. So if all that you need to have is love for the subject, and you will do the best that you can. So do not be focused on the future, because the future is coming out of the present. The past, having got modified, has become the present, and the present getting modified in the now is becoming the future. So all the three times are right before you in the now. So if you take care of the present, it means you're taking care of the future as well. So make the most of your present. The future will take care of itself, because the future is coming out of the present. So that's something that I was casting light upon as well. And the simple answer to why we fail to make opportunities is because of the mediocrity of the educational system as well, which is of course premised upon survival and not upon living. And then sometimes we should not forget doubting ourselves. The question is, do we lack energy to be independent? Then I must say we do. We are all the while dependent upon society, our parents, our teachers. And one of the quotes of Advait Taraka Upanishad says that Guru means somebody who obliterates your darkness. And if your darkness is obliterated, you have to walk. But do we walk? I think we don't. All that a guru does is to obliterate the darkness that we are in. And then we have to walk on the path. But we do not do that. We lack the energy because we are too dependent. So I think it's high time that we should come up, walk, and bring about a great change in the ocean that we are all the waves of as well. And the conclusion is that a wave is the whole ocean. You are your society. You are the waves of the ocean that you are in. And a change within you will be a change in society, in the ocean as well. And tomorrow's teachers are your today's readers, learners, and students. So if you improve yourself, if you evolve over here, you'll have evolved readers, learners, and students. Not only that, you will have better teachers tomorrow as well. You'll have evolved teachers. So a change within you will be a change in the future of our country and the world as well. And that's the process of evolution we will all follow. We have come from a point where our ancestors didn't even know about agrarian practices. And now we have societies, we have politics, we are reaching out to the moon, we are buying plots on the moon. So we have, of course, come a long way from nowhere to the moon, causing rain through cloud seeding. But there is still a long way to go. And you are the ones bring that about, the process of evolution. So that's how I'll conclude over here. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was wonderful interacting with you all.
Thank you so much, Sinha sir. It was a wonderful deliberation. Thank you so much for exploring us to different words of language and literature. And
Thank
yes,
you.
it's true that you need to invest in your present, then future takes care of it. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. The session is now open for question and answers. I request all the participants to kindly go forward with your questions. I would like to tell here that before asking questions, you should mention your name, your state, and
Muted. You muted.
kindly unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon. Please go for it.
My name is Smita Tiwari and I am from Nagpur, Maharashtra.
Yeah.
I would like to ask Ayush sir that please mention some sites which can provide English blog or Hindi blog or content writing for starter writers.
Ayush sir, you're on mute.
All right. Okay. I was muted. Okay. So if I'm not wrong, ma'am, you're asking me about some websites available for readers or writers. I didn't get you.
So writers.
So you need to
For writers.
for work or for reading?
For writing, sir.
Or for writing, websites available for, of course, there are all the websites over there. For instance, I was working for Kaleidoscope. I was working for many other websites like Verse of Silence, Fragrance of Writing, all the other websites. Why not Republic TV? That's available as well. So all the websites that you come across, do one thing. You can just search for good stories over there. You can search for whatever you love over there. And there are numerous websites available on the internet. Go into them, check the about section, contact the editors. And there are numerous possibilities just by contacting the editor. So almost all the websites that you come across, as per your convenience, whatever you love over there, whatever is your favorite. For instance, if you love stories, there are numerous websites for stories. You can get into that, and then you can ask them if they would like to have you contributing their websites as well, as authors, as editors, as proofreaders.
Sorry to interrupt you, but all the websites are not entertain upcoming writer or freshers.
Absolutely. But that's how you find out opportunities. There are numerous websites available. That's exactly how you will come across opportunities. But that's exactly what I cast light on as well, that at the beginning, you cannot reach out to websites well established. In that situation, then you have to start with blogging. You need to have a portfolio available to show to those websites, to showcase yourself as well. So for that, you need to have a good blog first. Develop a good blog. You can design it, and then publish good content over there. And you can treat it as a portfolio. You can add it to your CV and then reach out to those websites that are not for beginners, as you said. It will be a great opportunity. Then you can move on to that's where you elevate. That's exactly where you elevate. So I must suggest that first of all, you can start with blogging, and where you develop your portfolios, and then you move on to these websites available all around. Whatever
Currently,
website you
sir, currently I am blogging in Moms Presso in Hindi. Other than Moms Presso, which blogging site is very useful for new bloggers?
Oh, blogspot.com is good. So you're talking about website that Medium. Why don't you use Medium? Medium is a good place as well. So you can use Medium, and over there, if you don't want to use Medium, you can use Blogspot. You can use the Google one, blogspot.com, and you can blog over there. But Medium, of course, undoubtedly is a great place for blogging. You can have your own blogs published over there, and it distributes your writing as well. If it is good, it does distribute your writing. So Medium, I must suggest.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
It was actually amazing and very motivational program, I must say. But you said truly that we are feared always of being independent.
Yes.
That was actually I think the main problem with we all is we have that. I mean, we are not that courageous to be independent. Always depend on others for starting something new, where we get stuck. There should be something when you start, you should get proper support and channels to start with writing or making blogs like that.
Absolutely. Fortunately, I came across some good authors in that time when I was struggling, and I was called out as well because I didn't have good grammar as a
But
child.
all are not that lucky, na, sir.
Absolutely.
All are not that fortunate.
Not at all. I think all that we need to have is a little bit of interest, and then we will create the connections as well, for sure. But not all of us are interested, undoubtedly. It's true.
Okay, we would like to have your support, sir.
Certainly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your words, ma'am. Thank you. I'm enlivened. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir. I have a question as well. I'm an MA student from Uttar Pradesh. So, someone who has some, creativity of writing, but doesn't have good reading skills. Like I do write sometimes, and I write quite nice, but I am not fond of reading. So, but I really want to develop this habit of reading. So, how can I start that? Because definitely reading is very, very important, as you said, but I do not have that.
Absolutely. And that's something that many of us, I think, I have come across a lot of people facing the same problem that you are facing as well. And there, I must say that you should start with something that you love reading. For instance, I started with something that I loved reading, and my genre was spirituality, religion, and philosophy over there. I would read Socrates. That was not proper literature. Of course, Socrates was not, of course, proper literature, or spirituality is not, of course, proper literature. Sadhguru is speaking over there, or somebody else writing over there. That's not proper literature. The literature that we come across when we read Fyodor Dostoevsky or Charles Dickens. So you should start, first of all, not with proper literature, I must say, but with something that you love, that you like. And that's where you fall in love with literature. That's where you get into boring books as well, that you may I just suggested to somebody the book of Fyodor Dostoevsky, the Brothers Karamazov, or Leo Tolstoy's books, and they all turn out to be boring to the ones that I suggested these books to, because they had never come across such a level of literature, and all of a sudden all this seemed monotonous to them. So over there, I must suggest that you should start with something that you like, something that is light. I have seen many people not liking Leo Tolstoy, but liking authors like Ruskin Bond. So why not Ruskin Bond? So I must suggest that every one of us likes something or the other, and we should start with something that we like, something closer to our hearts. And that's where we get into other things as well. That's where we broaden our horizons. That's where we move on to Leo Tolstoy from Chetan Bhagat, I must say. So read good literature, read good, well-edited literature, but start with something that you like or love. And I must suggest one more thing: read well-edited literature, read classics.
Okay.
And that's going to support you. Classics like those of Leo Tolstoy, Ruskin Bond, and Nikolai Gogol, Russian literature. So and not Ruskin Bond as well. He's a wonderful writer. You can read such writers available over there with years of experience. When you read these authors, you come across what writing styles you should follow when you are writing as well, what flows they are maintaining, and a lot of sentence structures, a lot of phrases that you may never come across while writing. So you develop all those phrases, all those structures when you read these works of these great authors, having worked for years over there in the field of literature, well-established authors. So you can start with whatever you like, and that's where you begin. Though get into everything else. Read indiscriminately, read voraciously, do not stop anywhere. Just go on reading. There is no limitation. There are immense possibilities. There's no limitation. Read as much as possible, and words will come out like water. They will have their own flow. They will become part of your subconscious, just like your name, your parents' names, and your addresses as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir, please question.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Sir, this is Samriti Zadav from Nashik, Maharashtra. I have a question. Actually, I am doing content writing since a year and so. And I have worked for a company for 6 months and I have done content writing for them. But for now, I want to work on my own profile, my LinkedIn profile that I want to develop, for instance. But I don't know what to write content on.
So do you want to develop your LinkedIn profile over there?
Yeah.
And then
but to post on LinkedIn, I am not sure what really the content should be or what the topics I should choose to write about.
And I must ask you, what's the motive of people on LinkedIn? So the motive of people on LinkedIn, people available on LinkedIn, is to connect to as many people as possible, to connect to as many professionals as possible. Then you must write something that you can connect to. You can connect to with, of course, you need to connect to people. You need to connect to professionals available over there in your own field. And for that, you must write on something through which you can connect to those people. Then you mustn't write on something that's relevant to research or something that's relevant to science, but something too casual that is capable of connecting you to those professionals. You must have seen, I've seen a lot of people who are active on LinkedIn. I'm not that active on LinkedIn, but I've seen a lot of people active on LinkedIn. And they have grown their audiences. They have got greater connections, larger circles, merely by writing something through which they can connect to these professionals. For instance, I've seen many HR executives writing about their interviews. They have interviewed their employees, potential employees, and I've seen many freelance writers talking about their clients, freelance writers, freelance editors. They're talking to other freelance writers and other authors about their own clients. So they're writing upon something through which they can connect to other professionals. So you should not think twice. You should write on something through which you can connect to other professionals. And that's exactly what the motive of you all is as well on a platform like LinkedIn. It's not for something relevant to research or something else. All that you need to do is to write something that through which you can connect to other professionals. That's it. So write whatever you feel like writing and make sure that you connect to people. That's exactly what you need to do on LinkedIn. Nothing else.
Please question.
Hello, sir.
Sir, my go in Prime Minister and somewhere to the मुझे Prime Minister बनना है.
All right.
Next question.
You should, I think. But why do you want to become a prime minister? That's a question I should ask you.
Ayo, cuma malah pendapat apa lagi?
Now, जैसे कि मुझे इसके बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी दीजिए, कैसे क्या करना है, आगे बढ़ना है.
Oh, so I must tell you that if you want to become a prime minister, if you want to become the prime minister of the country, you must understand the role of a prime minister as well, right? You must be able to understand the role of a prime minister, and the role of prime minister is of course vast. He has to take care of a whole country. Then you must understand your country, right? If he has to take care of the whole country, he must have a complete understanding of this country. And for that, I must suggest to you that you should read as much as possible about the country. You should travel as much as possible. You should meet as many people as possible. You should understand the Indian culture. You should understand the civilization of this country. You should understand the history of this country as well. And then you have all the capabilities to be a great leader. Who knows? Maybe the prime minister. Uh, of course,
Of course.
undoubtedly.
Yes,
So
sir.
you have all that you need to do is to have a good understanding of the country through reading, through traveling, through meditating. That's the only way.
Thank you,
And then
sir.
you can be a great leader because you can guide. Look, a wave is a whole ocean. So you are a wave of this ocean as well. And if you can understand yourself, you can understand the whole
Yes.
ocean. If you have understood yourself, you can understand the people around, and then you can be a great leader. That's the only way to be a great leader, I must suggest. So understand yourself, understand
Thank
the
you, sir.
ocean around, and wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
Nice answer, sir.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
have a
so much.
question. Sir, I have a question.
Please go ahead,
Can I?
madam. Sure.
Good afternoon. So my name is Jennifer Khan. I'm from Maharashtra. I study in Elphinstone College. Currently, I'm doing my final year. So for masters, I'm thinking to study for linguistic and then pursue a internship in editing course, and I want to become an editor. But most of the counselors and professors, they suggest like you should not go for editor because editor is not a long time job right now because of that Grammarly and everything. It has came so much in practice that people are using that. So why would they pay you instead of paying that app which can give them so much in just small amount?
You talked about Grammarly. I see more and more people are using Grammarly today. I must say, of course, there are people saying that editors have lost their opportunities. I have never come across one. Look, Grammarly over there is perfect for finding out lacunae like grammar, spelling mistakes, and simple grammar mistakes as to subject verb agreement. There's subject verb, I are doing that, and then it finds out, yes, it should be am and not are over there. But it's not for editing, to be honest. It's not at all for
Yeah, so
editing.
that's only I found that maybe Grammarly could be correct, but sometimes Grammarly also needs a human interaction because sometimes it doesn't show the proper answer that we need because it shows the answer which is there in the inbuilt form, not in a human form, what a human needs. So that's what I think. So do you think that if I pursue a linguistic and master, so it will be very beneficial for me in the editing career?
Undoubtedly, I must suggest to you that there are numerous possibilities in media houses as well. And why not sites like the Times Internet? Republic House was full of chaos when I was working over there. And they must be listening to me, I'm sure. They may listen to me, but there are a lot of good publications over there. There are a lot of good publishing houses. And you can work for them. Undoubtedly, there are numerous possibilities. Working in seclusion, you can work from home.
And
And when it
mostly
comes to
people say
Grammarly, I must say, Grammarly is too limited, too limited, and it cannot find out even grammatical mistakes that are serious, that are deeper over there. It will escape. It will just escape. So it's good over there if for finding out general mistakes over there, general grammatical mistakes. But for deeper editing, no, not at all. For proofreading, I must say, just basic proofreading, Grammarly will work. I am and not IR. But for deep proofreading or for basic editing or for deep editing, it is not going to work in any way. So Grammarly over there is completely futile. The scopes of editors are not lost in any way so far, and editors are required in a
And
great number.
one more thing that people say that doing linguistic in India is of no use because there are very limited scope. So although I want to pursue it outside India, but people say then you can only stay there and do their job, do the job over in that country. You can't come back to India and think that you will get that much salary or you would get you will enjoy your job that much.
If you love it, I must say you pursue. Just pursue it. People may say it, but I should ask you, what jobs are giving you money? Engineering, I've seen many engineers working at 25,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, 15,000
Yeah,
rupees.
that's what I think. But this so some linguistic is something I totally enjoy. I'm a totally kind of a literature student because I am a literature student. I have wrote a book. I write numerous kind of poem. But linguistic is kind of thing which is very basic, but it is very detailed form and it is very interesting. So I find it interesting. But people give this excuse that what you'll do by doing this linguistic and it will be of no use in next 5 years to you only.
Not at all. It's never going to be like that. Art and poetry cannot be taken away. It cannot be art and poetry cannot be snatched away by artificial intelligence from humans. So humans are never. Then what's the usage of humans? Then what's the need to have an engineer? Because artificial intelligence anyway is going to take over this all. So there's no scope of being an engineer either. No, not at all. Not going to be that, and you're not going to lose these scopes of editors, artists, professionals like transcriptors and translators. No, never. It's never going to happen that way. Art and poetry can never be snatched away by artificial intelligence. Though, of course, artificial intelligence is bringing about art as well. We have seen that, but eventually it will be in the hands of human beings, and you're not going to lose scopes. There are ample opportunities available in the field of literature as translators, proofreaders, linguists. So I think you should not, if you love it, go ahead, pursue it, and you will make the most of it. You make the most of whatever you love. So if you love it, you'll make the most of it, and you should go ahead and pursue it. You might get deviated, you might go astray if you pursue something else by listening to others. For instance, when I was 17 or 18, I was forced to pursue law. I did pursue law, but I never practiced. I never got into the legal field. I was never interested in the legal field. All that I did was to study yoga, medicine, for instance, meditation, literature, philosophy. So just choose it, make the most of it, embrace whatever you love, and you will make the most of it undoubtedly. Wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, hello. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Dhwanika.
Afternoon.
I'm currently a student of TYBA from KBP College, Vashi. I have a two-part question, sir. In order to teach in abroad as an assistant professor, in what ways or how can I create a strong foundation on my resume? And apart from TEFL course certificate, what sort of rapport I need to build up for the said profession?
The second one is, of course, going to be important. But if you are an English professional, if you are a linguist, the second one, the examination is not going to be tough for you at all. But the first part is that what kind of resume you need to have. Of course, there are a lot of scholarships available over there, and there are a lot of ways to go abroad as well. And for that, they do ask you to have a certain level of experience in India of teaching, of course. So first of all, you need to have a good resume where you have enough experience of having taught in India and worked as a teacher, a linguist over here. And it's different, in the US, it's different. If you talk about the US, it's different. You may have pursued law, but if you are working in the field of yoga and medicine, they look upon you as a yoga and medicine professional, and not as a legal professional, not as a law professional. So one thing that you can keep in mind is that it's more about what you have worked upon over here than about what degree you have. So of course you need to have a degree that will be checked, but it's more about your experience. It's more about your experience of having worked in India. And that's going to be a door to going abroad as well, especially a country like the US, where you are, where they are more interested in what you have worked and not in your degrees over there. And that's the
Thank you,
answer.
sir. As well as US is not one of my targeted countries, I would like to teach in countries where the language is a necessity, nor spoken as the first native language. So quite few countries in mind, for example, the Gulf countries or the Switzerland, where the number of English teachers is a high. So that's what. And what about the TFL course, sir? Anything apart from that course I need to work on?
Of course, that won't be a problem at all if you're a good reader and if you're a good writer. So of course, writing skills, you have that, and speaking skills. that will not at all be a problem in any way. So that's too easy, I must say. And that shouldn't be, you can take that seriously. You can take, that is significant. That's remarkably significant, but that's not difficult. If you have good writing skills, if you have good speaking skills, that is not at all difficult. That's just to test your capability to speak. That's it. Nothing else. So that's too easy. It's too easy. I must say, if you are a good communicator, if you're a good writer, it is not going to be tough to you in any way.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Sinha. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Just a second.
Yeah.
This will be the last question as we are running out of time. This will be the last question we'll be taking. Participants can post their questions in the groups. We can send them to Sinha sir, and then he'll be able to answer them. We are very sorry. This will be the last question we are taking.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Hello.
Afternoon.
My name is Arshad Rafiq Khalifa from Maharashtra. Sir, how can we improve our communication, questioning, and leadership skills more and more?
I must talk about the limitation of thought. When you say that you have to broaden your horizon, you must look into the limitation of thought. What is the limitation of thought? We must first realize that thought is limited. And why? Because I said thought, which is a response of memory, is a product of the past. And the past, what is the past? The past is the sum total of all your experiences, and your experiences are limited. Therefore, your thought is limited as well, because thought is a response of memory, and memory, of course, the sum total of all experiences. Then thought is limited, and thought has limitations. So thought is quite mechanical in that way. And to broaden your horizon, you need to go beyond thought. You cannot keep repeating what is old. Thought is old over there. So you cannot repeating that. And for that, I must say, you should observe as much as possible. You should read as much as possible. Read all sorts of books available on history, mysticism, epistemology, philosophy, spirituality, religion, and many other fields as well. And that's how you start seeing things. And I must say, you shouldn't be dependent. I cast light on this earlier, that truth is independent of all authorities, that truth cannot be monopolized by any social structures. So if somebody is casting light upon the nature of the sun, the sun is of course truth. That the sun rises in the east is a truth, but it's available to you as well. It must be written in a book. Read a book and find out if it's true. I will go out and stand in my balcony and see the sun, and I will see if it's true. I'll find out, I'll look into it, and that's how you broaden your horizon. By realizing the limitation of thought, thought is always limited, thought is always mechanical, and you go beyond your thought, and then you find out that the whole universe is eternal, and it's full of mysteries, it's full of wonders as well. That's the only way. But it begins with the limitation of thought, with the realization of the limitation of thought, that thought is always limited.
The last question from my side, please.
Sure.
No, ma'am, we are
okay, let's take.
Actually, sir, once I heard from a well-qualified professor that exploitation of language is literature. So I just want to know the meaning of the sentence. Exploitation, how? Exploitation is obviously a negative word. So exploitation of language is literature.
He must have meant, the word exploitation also means to take advantage of something. For instance, if I say China is exploiting the resources of Afghanistan, it means that China is making the most of the resources of Afghanistan. How? By putting them into production and then producing something finished. So the exploitation of, I'm sure that he must have talked, I'm not sure because he may have talked about a completely different context. But over here, I must say that by the term exploitation, he must have meant to say that you should make the most, you should make the most of the language. You should take advantage of your language and use it to the fullest. That's exactly what I can say. Make the most of your language, and that's what I say. Maybe his context as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm very thankful to all the participants for asking the questions. We would now move on towards our presidential speech. I would request Honorable Professor Ghanasham sir to kindly start his presidential speech.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you very much. Indeed, it's a pleasure and honor to be amongst all the people, those who have assembled here on the virtual platform of Zoom, and to zoom out your own caliber, to zoom out your own potentials, to zoom out your future. Everything is just zooming out nowadays. And indeed, it's a pleasure to be among three colleges which are known as the Munis. The three colleges have come together to have something beneficial for the benefit of the students. And indeed, calling a person like Mr. Ayush, who is not only a person with religious aptitude, but at the same time who has taken a lot of time of his life in dealing with the people, in dealing with the mind, in dealing with the heart, in dealing with the society, in dealing with each and every aspect of life. As far as human beings are concerned, they are made up of various things. As we say, they are made up of 5 important things. And if we take these 5 important things together and we call them as Panch Tattva. And when we say that Panch Tattva, so the man is made up of Panch Tattva, and when he goes out of this world, then he is being mixed with the Panch Tattva. So all these Panch Tattvas, they are the real essence of our life. They lead us together. They lead us to the supreme. They take us to a place wherein we go to the apex of our life. So जहां तक ये पंच तत्व की हम बात करते हैं, मुझे लगता है कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो शायद हिंदी ज्यादा अच्छे तरीके से समझ पाए और अंग्रेजी का ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रभाव और अंग्रेजी का ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रभुत्व और अंग्रेजी इतनी ज्यादा मात्रा में जब चलती चली जाती है, तो हो सकता है उनके ज्ञान चक्षु उतने न खुल पाते हों या वो उतना न समझ पाते हों। तो उनके लिए भी है कि बहुत पहले कुमार दुष्यंत ने 4 पंक्तियां कही थी कि हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, पर ये सूरत बदलनी चाहिए। हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, पर ये सूरत बदलनी चाहिए। मेरे सीने में न सही, तेरे सीने में ही सही, हो कहीं भी आग, आग जलनी चाहिए। वो आग जलनी चाहिए। आज आयुष ने वो आग जगाई। हम सब के अंदर आग है, लेकिन शायद वो आग जो है वो सुप्त अवस्था में है, वो डॉर्मेंट है, वो साइलेंट है। वो उसने अपने यौवन को देखा ही नहीं। उस आग को जलाने की जरूरत है, उस आग को पहचानने की जरूरत है। और हर व्यक्ति के अंदर वो प्रतिभा होती ही है, और दुनिया में कोई भी व्यक्ति ऐसा नहीं है जिसमें कोई भी ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं है जो अपने आप को दूसरों के मुकाबले हम जब देखते हैं तो हमें लगता है, लेकिन हमें ये मानना चाहिए कि हमारा मुकाबला किसी और से नहीं, हमारा मुकाबला केवल अपने आप से है कि मैं कल क्या था, आज मैं क्या हूं और आगे मैं क्या बनूं। यदि ये मुकाबला हम अपने आप से करने लग जाएं, तो मुझे लगता है कि आपको किसी दूसरे के सहारे की जरूरत ही कभी नहीं पड़ेगी। बहुत सारे लोग सोचते हैं सपोर्ट कहां से आता है। सपोर्ट हमारे अंदर है, और वो सपोर्ट यदि हम अपने अंदर से निकाल पाए, तब हम निश्चित तौर पर उस पोर्ट के पास पहुंच सकते हैं। जैसे एक जहाज जो है वो पोर्ट के पास पहुंचता है, उसे किसी सपोर्ट की जरूरत नहीं होती, और सारी हवाएं यदि आपके फेवर में चलने लगेंगी तो आप कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे। चैलेंज तो तब है जब अनफेवरेबल विंड्स आपकी ओर आए और आप अपने अंदर के सामर्थ्य को जगाकर आप आगे की ओर बढ़ जाएं। द बेसिक थिंग इज यू मस्ट know the you in you, and if there is a coordination between the you in you, means the coordination between the heart and the mind, there should be a culmination of the heart and the mind. And when there is a culmination of the heart and the mind, when there is a combination, coordination, collaboration of the mind and the heart, then every individual will bloom like a flower. और इसीलिए जब मैंने कुमार दुष्यंत को आपके सामने कोट किया तो मुझे याद आया अब्दुल कलाम। कुमार दुष्यंत ने तो केवल आग जलाई थी, लेकिन हमारे अब्दुल कलाम जी ने तो एक पुस्तक भी लिखी जिसका नाम है विंग्स ऑफ फायर। अब्दुल कलाम जी ने तो आग के भी पंख लगा दिए थे। तो हम तो वो लोग हैं जो आग के पंख लगाकर इस नीले आकाश में उड़ते हैं। सो एक अदम्य शक्ति हम युवाओं में, एक अदम्य साहस हम युवाओं में है, एक अदम्य चेतना हमारे अंदर है, केवल जागृत करने की जरूरत है। और जितने भी शब्द अंग्रेजी के इन से स्टार्ट होते हैं, चाहे वो इन्फ्लुएंस हो, इंट्रोस्पेक्शन हो, या फिर इंटरेस्ट हो, या फॉर एग्जाम्पल इंट्रोगेशन हो, या इंटीग्रेशन हो, या इंट्यूशन हो, सब में इन होता है। इन मतलब सब हमारे अंदर है। इंटरेस्ट कोई दूसरा बाहर से जगह नहीं पाएगा, ये हमारे अंदर ही। इंट्रोस्पेक्शन भी हमारे अंदर है, इंटरेस्ट भी हमारे अंदर है, इनकलकेशन भी हमारे अंदर है। तो सारे इन जो हैं वो हमारे भीतर ही। शायद हम अपने भीतर के उस व्यक्ति को पहचान नहीं पा रहे हैं। जहां तक आप चाहते हैं कि आसमान कितना है या होराइजन क्या है, तो होराइजन की ओर जाते जाइएगा, होराइजन कभी आपको दिखाई नहीं देगा, ना कभी मिलता है। और वही हमारी सीमाएं हैं। हमारे लिए कोई सीमाएं नहीं है। और इमेजिनेशन की जहां तक बात है, कोई सीमाएं होती भी नहीं। और साहित्य क्या है? आपको लगता है साहित्य, साहित्य हर वो चीज है जो आप देख रहे हैं। लिटरेचर इज नथिंग बट लिट द कल्चर। इफ यू लिट द कल्चर, बस उस कल्चर को आप लिट करिए, उसमें ऊर्जा जगाइए, उसमें आग जगाइए, उसमें एक टिमटिमाता दीपक आप अपने अंदर रखिए। और इस पैंडेमिक में लोगों ने कहा कि सारी तरफ चीजें जो है वो नकारात्मक थी। मेरा मानना है कि नकारात्मक हमेशा हॉरिजॉन्टल होता है, नकारात्मक हमेशा ऋण हॉरिजॉन्टल होता है। और जब हम खड़े होते हैं तो हम वर्टिकल खड़े होते हैं। और जहां जहां नकारात्मक है वहां वहां आप खड़े हो जाइए, वो नकारात्मक आपके खड़े होने से पॉजिटिव बन जाता है। और वो एक ऊर्जा, वो एक ताकत हमारे सबके अंदर है। और जहां तक बात करते हैं हम इंग्लिश लिटरेचर की या इंग्लिश की, सबसे बड़ी चीज, जैसे बेकन ने कहा था, रीडिंग मेक अ गुड मैन, कॉन्फ्रेंस अ रेडी मैन, एंड राइटिंग एन एग्जैक्ट मैन। रीडिंग किस चीज का? रीडिंग उन सारे चीजों का जो आयुष ने कहा कि आपको जो भी अच्छा लगता है, जो भी आपको पसंद आता है, बस उसे पढ़ते चले जाइए। और केवल पढ़ना नहीं, बल्कि लोगों के साथ उसका डिस्कशन भी लगातार करते जाइए। तभी बेकन ने कहा था, कॉन्फ्रेंस मेक्स अ रेडी मैन। और वी नीड टू बी रेडी फॉर ऑल द ओकेजन। हर समय हर चीज के लिए हमें रेडी होना चाहिए। और लोग कहते हैं, और इवन यूथ हॉस्टल ऑफ इंडिया ये भी कहता है, वॉन्डरिंग वन गैदर्स हनी। और वही आयुष ने, एक जो हमारे मित्र थे आदित्य, शायद उन्होंने प्रश्न पूछा था, मैं प्रधानमंत्री बनना चाहता हूं, उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? गांधी जी ने भी सबसे पहला काम बैरिस्टर बन के आने के बाद यही किया था, पूरे भारत का उन्होंने भ्रमण किया था। और उसी भारत के भ्रमण के दौरान ही उन्होंने लंगोट की और लोगों को उन्होंने देखा, जिस तरीके से उनके बदन पे कपड़े नहीं थे, और वहां से गांधी बनने की परंपरा, वहां से गांधी बनने का एक साहस उनके मन में आया। तो इसलिए देश को जानना, देश के लोगों को जानना, देश को पहचानना, ये बहुत जरूरी है। लेकिन उससे भी ज्यादा जरूरी ये है कि मैं कौन हूं, मैं क्या हूं, मेरा मकसद क्या है, मैं किस लिए हूं। और हर एक व्यक्ति का इस धरा पर जब वो अवतरित होता है तो उसका एक मकसद जरूर होता है। और उस मकसद को पाने के लिए हम न जाने
रुको
कितनी
ना यार, सही में मेरे को बहुत
जद्दोजहद
गुस्सा
करते
आती।
रहते हैं। एंड वी
सुन रहे हो क्या? एक कान से सुनते हो क्या?
नहीं, मैं दोनों कान से सुनता हूँ।
संगीता
किसी ने
देशमुख प्लीज म्यूट।
किसी ने कहा कि एक, नहीं कोई बात नहीं, मैं दोनों कान से सुनता हूँ, और दोनों कान से सुनता हूँ, और भगवान ने एक मुंह दिया है, उसी से
सॉरी
बोलने का
सर,
प्रयास
सॉरी
भी
सॉरी,
करता हूँ।
आपके लिए
कोई
नहीं
बात
था वो।
नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, कृपया म्यूट कर लीजिएगा। मैं तो मौके की नजाकत को देखते हुए आपकी भाषाओं से अपनी भाषाओं में लाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। तो मेरा इन युवाओं से कहने का तात्पर्य यह है कि आपके लिए कोई सीमाएं नहीं है। आप केवल कभी ये मत सोचिए कि लोग क्या कहेंगे। यदि आप यही सोचते रहे कि लोग क्या कहेंगे, तो वो लोग जो कह रहे हैं वो क्या करेंगे फिर? तो हमारी हिंदी फिल्मों में एक अच्छा गाना है, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, छोड़ो बेकार की बातों में बीत न जाए रहना। और ये जो रहना है वही समय है, ये हमेशा बीतता है, इसको आप कोई नहीं पकड़ पाएंगे। तो लोगों की बातें यदि सुनने लगे तो आप कहीं पहुंच नहीं पाएंगे। जैसे हिंदी में कहावत है, कुत्ता भौंके हजार, हाथी चले बाजार। यदि हाथी कुत्ते के पीछे भागने लग जाएगा तो हाथी कभी अपने गंतव्य की ओर, अपने फ्यूचर की ओर बढ़ नहीं पाएगा, अपनी निशानी की ओर बढ़ नहीं पाएगा। इसलिए हाथी को ये जाना है तो वो कुत्ते को कभी नहीं देखता, वो अपनी राह पकड़ कर चला जाता है। तो एक राह पकड़िए और उस राह पे चलिए, और अपने ज्ञान चक्षुओं को ऐसे खोलिए, क्योंकि आज के जमाने में आप टांगे में लगने वाले घोड़े की जैसा ऐसा नहीं जा सकते। आपको इन सारे चीजों को देखने की जरूरत है। यदि आप एक ही दरवाजे की ओर ताकते रह जाएंगे कि वो दरवाजा खुले और मैं अंदर चला जाऊं, तो पता लगता है कि न जाने उस कमरे में कितने दरवाजे थे, वो खुलते गए, लोग जाते गए, लेकिन आप केवल एक ही दरवाजे पर नजर लगाए बैठे हैं, तो आप वहीं रुक गए। इसीलिए माउंटेन ड्यू भी कहता है डर के आगे जीत है। आप डरिए मत, जो डर गया लोग कहते हैं मर गया, मैं कहता हूं मारना क्यों किसी को। फिर कहते हैं जो डर गया वो घर गया, किसी का घर नहीं है तो वो कहां जाएगा। तो जो डर गया वो रह गया, क्योंकि वो आगे नहीं बढ़ पाता है उस डर के कारण। इसलिए द बेसिक थिंग एज फार एज इंग्लिश एंड दैट टू फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स इज कंसर्न, आपको इंग्लिश से फियर लगता है, राइट। सो फियर इज FEAR, और चूंकि वो फियर होता है इसलिए इंग्लिश आपको डियर नहीं होता, राइट। चूंकि वो डियर नहीं होता इसलिए वो आपके नियर नहीं होता, चूंकि वो आपके नियर नहीं होता इसलिए आपको क्लियर नहीं होता। सो दैट्स द थिंग। सो यदि आपको इंग्लिश को क्लियर करना है, नियर करना है, डियर करना है, उसका फियर निकालना है, तो एक तरीका है, फियर में से F हटा दीजिए, बचा क्या, ईयर। डियर में से D हटा दीजिए, बचा क्या, ईयर। फिर नियर में से N हटाइए, बचा क्या, ईयर। क्लियर में से CL हटाइए, बचा क्या, ईयर। सुभाष चंद्र बोस ने कहा था, तुम मुझे खून दो मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा। मैं कहता हूं आप मुझे कान दो मैं आपको अंग्रेजी देता हूं। सो व्हाट वी नीड ओनली द ईयर्स टू लिसन। द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट लिसनिंग टू द पीपल, the more and more you listen to the people, and the amount that you listen to the people, you'll try to speak. And that's why the very first exercise of speaking is listening. The child listens to all the people for about a year. After 9 to 10 months, the child speaks one syllable, ma, right? The very first syllable, ma. क्या 9 से 10 महीने तक बच्चे ने कभी बोला ही नहीं था? बोला नहीं था। लेकिन क्या बच्चे ने सुना नहीं था? बच्चे ने सुना था, लेकिन बच्चे ने बोलने में उतना समय लिया। और जब बच्चा बोलने लग जाता है, मतलब ये है कि उसके कान सुनाई देते हैं। और जब बच्चा पैदा होता है तो डॉक्टर उससे ऐसा करता है तो बच्चा तुरंत सर नहीं घुमाता, क्योंकि उसका सर भारी होता है, वो नजरें घुमाता है। नजरें घुमाने से डॉक्टर को समझ में आ जाता है कि बच्चे का राइट ईयर सही है। लेफ्ट सर नजरें घुमाता है तो लेफ्ट ईयर सही है। मीन्स इफ द चाइल्ड कैन लिसन देन द चाइल्ड कैन स्पीक। और इसीलिए लिसनिंग और स्पीकिंग हमारे घर पे होती है। जब हम स्कूल में जाते हैं तो देन वी डू रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग। इसलिए जब आप स्कूल से वापस आते हैं, कॉलेज से वापस आते हैं, तो पेरेंट्स पूछते हैं कि पढ़ाई लिखाई कैसे चल रही। कोई नहीं कहता लिखाई पढ़ाई कैसे चल रही। पढ़ाई पहले है, लिखाई बाद में है। सो राइटिंग इज द टफेस्ट स्किल, लेकिन उसके पहले हमारी रीडिंग है, और उससे भी पहले लिसनिंग और स्पीकिंग है। लेकिन हमने इंग्लिश उल्टे तरीके से सीखी। इंग्लिश हमने सबसे पहले राइटिंग से सीखी। हमारे सारे टीचर ने हमें लिखना पहले सिखाया। बोर्ड पे लिख देते थे ए करके, और उस ए पे हम ऐसा लिखते थे कई बार, और हमारा ए ऐसा बनता था जैसे बच्चा पैदा होने के बाद ऐसा ऐसा चलता है, वैसा हमारा ए बड़ा सा बनता था। और धीरे धीरे वो ए जो है सिमटता सिमटता एकदम ऐसा आ गया। तो इसको हिंदी में कहते हैं करत करत अभ्यास जड़मती होत सुजान। तो जड़मती जो है वो सुजान हो गई, तो हमारा ए वैसा बनने लगा। फिर टीचर ने लिखा G&O, और टीचर ने कहा नाउ रीड इट, हमने कहा गो। उसके बगल में टीचर ने लिखा D, रीड इट, हमने कहा GOD, गॉड। हमने पहले रीडिंग किया, उसके बाद हमने पहले राइटिंग किया, उसके बाद हमने क्या किया, रीडिंग किया। जबकि हम अपनी मदर टंग जब सीखते हैं तो पहले हम लिसनिंग करते हैं, फिर स्पीकिंग करते हैं, फिर रीडिंग करते हैं, और लास्ट में राइटिंग करते हैं। लेकिन जब हम इंग्लिश सीखे तो पहले हमने राइटिंग की, उसके बाद हमने उसको क्या किया, रीडिंग किया। लेकिन जहां स्पीकिंग की बात आती है वहां हम साइलेंट हो जाते हैं, और जहां लिसनिंग की बात होती है वहां हमारा लैक ऑफ इंटरेस्ट हो जाता है। सो देयर शुड नॉट बी लैक ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, because communication is the only key in this ICT world, information and communication technology. उसमें भी हम कहते हैं I didn't mean to say that, मेरा कहने का ये मतलब नहीं है। तो इतनी कम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी बढ़ने के बाद भी मिसकम्युनिकेशन क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि कहीं ना कोई लिंक हम मिस कर रहे हैं, तभी हमारा कम्युनिकेशन भी मिस हो रहा है। हम लोगों के प्रति सिंपैथी रखते हैं, लेकिन हमें लोगों के प्रति एम्पैथी रखनी चाहिए, परानुभूति रखना चाहिए। पर जैसा अनुभव करता है वैसा ही यदि मैं अनुभव करता हूं तो वो परानुभूति है। लोगों के प्रति हमें समानुभूति रखनी चाहिए, सहानुभूति नहीं, समानुभूति रखना चाहिए। और समानुभूति यदि है तो वो मेरे अंदर में जो है वो आपके अंदर में है, और आपके अंदर में जो है वो मेरे अंदर में है। आप क्या बनते हैं क्या नहीं बनते हैं ये मतलब नहीं है, लेकिन whatever you are a gift of God, and what you become is a gift to God. इसलिए आप जो है वो भगवान की देन है, आप जो बनेंगे वो भगवान को आपकी ओर से देन होगा। तो whatever you become, just never ever listen to people. एक बार आइंस्टीन से लोगों ने पूछा, you have invented E is equal to mc square. What is the secret of your energy? How do you do that? यदि सचिन होता तो कहता boost is the secret of my energy. यदि युवराज होता तो कहता सोना चांदी च्यवनप्राश इज द सीक्रेट ऑफ माय एनर्जी। लेकिन आइंस्टीन ने कहा, आई ओ माय इन्वेंशन टू ऑल माय क्रिटिक्स, दोज हु सेड आइंस्टीन यू कैन नॉट डू इट। देन E is equal to mc square is the product of all those critics. और यदि निंदक मेरे पास नहीं होते तो मैं ये सफलता प्राप्त नहीं करता। इसलिए हिंदी में एक और कहावत है जो कहता है, निंदक नियरे राखिए आंगन कुटी छबाए। तो निंदा करने वाले को हमेशा अपने साथ रखना चाहिए, क्योंकि निंदा करने वाले जो होते हैं वो आपको आगे की ओर ले जाते हैं, आगे की ओर ढकेलते हैं और कहते हैं कि नहीं तू कर सकता है। और हर व्यक्ति कर सकता है, हर व्यक्ति में वो करने का मानदा है। और पैंडेमिक जो है ये हमें ये सिखाता है कि हाउ टू गो फ्रॉम पैंडेमिक टू पैन एकेडमिक। आज यदि आप आयुष से सुन पा रहे हैं ऑनलाइन में, ये पैन एकेडमिक है। सो हाउ टू कन्वर्ट द सिचुएशन फ्रॉम पैंडेमिक टू पैन एकेडमिक। सो दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल पैन एकेडमिक। और एक चीज है, जब तक आप अपने कंफर्ट जोन में रहेंगे तब तक आप कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे। द मोमेंट यू डू अ काइंड ऑफ एन एफर्ट टू कम आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट, देन देयर लाइज द सक्सेस। और वहां पर सक्सेस है, और आपको केवल एक एफर्ट करने की जरूरत है कंफर्ट से। एक बार एक जो कीड़ा था वो एक कवच के अंदर था, जब पैदा हुआ तो वो फड़फड़ा रहा था। किसी बच्चे ने देखा, अरे वो निकलने के लिए फड़फड़ा रहा है, उसको बहुत अंदर से सिंपैथी जागी और उसने कहा कि इसके झिल्ली को फाड़ देता हूं, वो निकल आएगा बाहर। और जैसे ही उसने झिल्ली को फाड़ा वो निकला, और निकलने के बाद वो पूरे जिंदगी भर रेंगता रहा, वो कभी उड़ नहीं पाया। कारण क्या था? ये चुनौतियां हमारे सामने, और हमारी कोई मदद करे हम सोचते हैं नहीं, भगवान ने हमें इतना काबिल बनाया है कि हम अपनी मदद स्वयं कर सकते हैं। इसीलिए हिम्मत मर्दा मददे खुदा हम कहते हैं। और हम युवाओं को भी यही कहना चाहते हैं कि कौन कहता है आसमां पे सुराख नहीं हो सकता, एक पत्थर तो तबीयत से उछालो यारो। तो आप में वो मांदा होना चाहिए एक पत्थर को उछालने की, और वो ऊर्जा हमारे अंदर है। केवल आत्मसात करने की जरूरत है कि व्हाट एम आई, और व्हाट एम आई को आपको करना है तो आप केवल एक काम करिए। स्वामी निसर्गानंद महाराज ने लिखा था व्हाट आई एम नॉट। तो सबसे पहले आप ये लिखिए कि व्हाट आई एम नॉट, मैं क्या नहीं हूं, क्या नहीं हूं, क्या नहीं हूं। और अंततोगत्वा आप फोकस पॉइंट पे आएंगे कि क्या नहीं हूं में से आप क्या हैं, वहां तक आ जाएंगे। तो दैट्स व्हाट इज कम्युनिकेशन टू द सेल्फ। आपका कम्युनिकेशन तभी अच्छा हो सकता है जब आप अपने आप से कम्युनिकेट करते हैं। तो योर
नवीन,
आपका कम्युनिकेशन जब तक आपके अंदर से नहीं होगा। और व्हाट इज कम्युनिकेशन? कम्यून इज अ सोसाइटी। व्हेन यू कम्यून विद द पीपल, व्हेन यू कम्यून टू द सेल्फ, आपके अंदर में इतने सारे ऑर्गन्स हैं, उन सारे ऑर्गन्स के साथ आपका अपना कम्युनिकेशन, एंड दैट्स व्हाट आयुष वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट. As far as Ayush has spoken about the management field, he has spoken about the social field, he has spoken about various medias, print media, electronic media, social media, he has spoken about even career guidance, he has spoken about software technologies, he has spoken about all the fields. And where is English? If you ask me where is English, I'll say English is in the air and everywhere. English कहाँ नहीं है? आप मराठी में भी एक सेंटेंस बगैर अंग्रेजी के नहीं बोल पा रहे हैं, हम हिंदी भी बगैर अंग्रेजी के नहीं बोल पा रहे हैं। तो इंग्लिश हैज बिकम लाइक अ टोमेटो व्हिच कुड बी एडेड टू एनी ऑफ द वेजिटेबल टू मेक इट्स टेस्ट बेटर. So English has become a tomato nowadays. Even the illiterate person, he uses this and says, इसमें टावर नहीं है, रिचार्ज कराना है, मोबाइल, टच स्क्रीन, every word is English, and the person is illiterate. He cannot write his name, but he is using English. Why? Because he is listening to English. So that's why our ears are the uploading units. And our brain is the biggest hard disk available in the world, and mouth is the downloading unit. So whatever you listen from here, upload, you store here, and you download. So that's why have energy in yourself, have capability in yourself, and every individual is capable of doing the things. So इसीलिए Robert Frost ने कहा था, I am telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. एक बार मैं जंगल में जा रहा था, वहां दो रास्ते मुझे दिखाई दिए, और मैंने उस रास्ते को चुना जिस रास्ते पे बहुत कम लोग चले थे, और उसने मेरी पूरी जिंदगी बदल के रख दी। कई बार ये भी होता है कि आपको अपना रास्ता स्वयं बनाना पड़ता है। और आप देखिएगा, गांव में जाइएगा रात में तो पगडंडियां रहती हैं, और अमावस की रात में भी वो पगडंडियां आपको दिखाई देती हैं, क्योंकि लोग उस पर चले थे। और कई बार आप उस पथ पे भी चलिए, और कई बार आप अपना रास्ता खुद बनाइए, जहां पर आपको खुद पे संतोष होगा और उस परमात्मा को भी आप पर संतोष होगा जिसने आपको बनाया था। So it was a wonderful deliberation by Mr. Ayush, and he has not only enlightened us, but he has opened up many vistas in front of us. And the person who has been challenged by life to a greater extent is now challenging the life, and that's the basic thing. यदि जीवन आपके सामने चुनौतियां रखता है, तो आप चुनौतियों से भी कहिए कि तू मेरे से आके मुकाबला कर, और मैं देखना चाहता हूं कि मेरे अंदर कितना मांदा है तेरी चुनौतियों को जीतने का। और आप केवल अपने दिल के अंदर एक टिमटिमाता दीपक स्नेह का जलाए रखिए, और वही स्नेह का दीपक आपको उजाले से नहीं बल्कि अंधियारे से उजाले की ओर ले जाने में सक्षम होगा। और इसलिए अपने अंदर के अंधेरे से उजाले की ओर जाइए। और इस कोरोना ने, आप कोरोना कहते हैं, आप इसको कोरोना कहते हैं, मैं कहता हूं दिस इज द टाइम ऑफ कोरोना।
Sir, you are muted. Sir, you are muted.
Right, ma'am? Is it okay? Hello?
Sir, yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is not the period of corona, but it's the period of corona. तो बहुत सारे लोगों ने इस कोरोना के पीरियड में कोरोना किया है, उन्होंने लगातार काम किया है, एंड दे हैव बिकम सक्सेसफुल। बहुत सारे लोगों की नौकरी छूट गई, लेकिन उन्होंने दूसरी चीजें स्टार्ट की जिससे उनका स्टार्टअप आ गया। सो ऑल दोस थिंग्स आर देयर। सो दीज पैंडेमिक सिचुएशंस, दे आर coming to us to make us understand that we are much better than what we are. So that's what is the most important. और इसलिए अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं good is not good when better is expected. So आप सभी से better की expectation है। आपने मुझे आमंत्रित किया, तीनों महाविद्यालयों ने मुझे आमंत्रित किया, और मुझे अपनी बात रखने का और युवाओं को संबोधित करने का और युवा से सुनने का। और युवा का ठीक उल्टा होता है वायु। तो युवा में इतनी ताकत होती है तो पूरे देश की वायु को बदल सकता है, देश की दशा और दिशा दोनों को बदल सकता है। ऐसे युवाओं से मुझे मिलने का अवसर मिला। इसके लिए तीनों महाविद्यालयों के प्राचार्यों को, डॉक्टर सविता पाटिल को और उन सारे लोगों को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for wonderful and outstanding deliberation. I would now request some of the participants to give their feedback in just 1 minute. We have a participant called Bagisha from Jammu and Kashmir. I would request you to kindly give the feedback in just 1 minute. Kindly unmute yourself. Bagisha from Jammu and Kashmir.
Saili ma'am, if she's not there, then take other next one.
Yes, ma'am. I request Ajit Bhosle sir to kindly unmute Bagisha sir. Bagisha and Harshada Ratnakar.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bhagisha I'm from Gagwal and I'm from JNK and I'm now studying in SMBD of Katra at in BA Honors English semester 1, and this webinar is about the career opportunities in language and literature. The webinar was the organization of the webinar was very excellent, and they taught us in a very good manner, and now we were introduced to different words of language and literature, importance of reading as well. The webinar was very productive to us, so I would like to thank everyone for such a beautiful organization. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear. I would request Harshada. Are you there from Goa?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Harshada Ratnakar Gawas. I'm from Goa. Just now, I had completed my TYBA. This webinar was very useful for me and very clear and understandable. Very useful information. Presenter was very knowledgeable and offered valuable informations and tips. A great program, really well organized with plenty of details in each section. Actually, starting parts I have missed because of I had not joined the meeting. Wonderful experience, very valuable, and examples were very helpful to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harshada. We also have Gyanosri Gogoi from Assam. Do we have her? Gyanosri Gogoi from Assam. Kindly unmute yourself. Okay. Do we have Rahul Kumar sir from Bihar?
Yes, he's there.
Rahul Kumar sir from Bihar. Do we have him?
He's there. He's
Okay. Aditya Jain, I would request you to kindly give the feedback in 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Aditya.
I'm go to Nagpur, Maharashtra. I am Aditya Ganeshlal Jain. I am BA first year. I am Morris College, and request to all the teachers and good perform. Thank you.
Can I give my feedback?
Thank you so much, Aditya. I also request Deepak Gode from Maharashtra, if he is there, to kindly give your feedback in a minute.
Yes. Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for all the teachers and dignitaries who was available and who actually organized this program. Especially, this is Deepak Gorde here from Maharashtra, Pune, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College, and I'm the student of TYBA, the third year of BA in English Literature. And yes, for the feedback, few words for Ayush sir. Actually, you are seems like an ocean of a knowledge, and thank you for inspiring us, because this session was very mesmerizing, and I am very fortunate to being a part of this. And yes, I because of the network error, I couldn't listen the second speaker's name, but yes, actually he also encourages, and I'm just simply impressed by the word power of him. So thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us. Thank you so much. And yes, actually, because of our teachers like Savita Patil ma'am, then Saili ma'am, and Chandrakant Borude sir, because of them, actually, I have achieved till now. Because see, I have achieved. I'm not. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I
Okay.
audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I just want to thank for my all English department teachers like Saili ma'am, Savita Patil ma'am, and Chandrakant Borude sir. Because of them, I whatever I'm speaking here, I'm very confident about. Because of them, I'm very confident for the English. And yes, I will try to remove fear and it make it to dear, clear, and near to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepak. We would now move on towards our last point, that is vote of thanks. I would request our coordinator of S.M.Joshi College, Hadapsar, Honorable Dr. Shahaji Karande sir, to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Saili ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all. Honorable dignitaries, respected members of all the colleges, esteemed delegates, dear participants, and my colleagues. It's my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks on the eve of the national webinar on career approaching in English, language and literature, which is organized for the celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. A deep sense of gratitude to distinguished President, Honorable Professor Ghansham sir. I'm very happy to extend my sincere thanks to the President of this program for his wonderful President's speech and for sparing his precious time with us. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to propose a hearty vote of thanks to the resource person of this national webinar, Honorable Ayush Sinha sir, for informative insights, valuable inputs, and excellent presentation, as it definitely have helped all the participants to extend valuable knowledge. His speech was quite interesting, attractive, and interactive with experience, which gave deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. On behalf of three colleges, I express my sincere gratitude to him. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the distinguished principals of three colleges, Honorable Dr. Sambhaji Sinde sir, Honorable Dr. Chandrakant Khilare sir, and Honorable Dr. Andre sir for their encouragement, their constant support, and for taking meticulous efforts for organizing this national webinar. Thank you so much, sir. I am very happy to extend my sincere thanks to the Chairman, Board of Studies in English, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Honorable Dr. Ashok Saskar sir, for your auspicious presence in this webinar. I would like to express my auspicious thanks from the bottom of my heart to the coordinators of this collaborative national webinar, Dr. Tejaswini Patil and Dr. Savita Patil, for taking the initiatives for the organization of this webinar. I am very much thankful to them for extending unconditional support, without which it would not have been possible to coordinate this webinar. It was a meticulous effort, the thought process, a time retention of the team that can be the execution of the webinar in a successful manner. Thank you very much. I would like to thank the vice principals, the faculty members, all the heads of the departments for their presence here. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Saili Goswami ma'am for her excellent comparing and taking efforts for preparing the technical sessions. Even I would like to express my sincere thanks to Ajit Bhosale sir and Atul for their technical supports. I am very much thankful to all the colleagues from the Department of English of all the three colleges for their kind support for the organization of this webinar. This wouldn't have been possible or successful without the participants. So I want to express my sincere thanks to all the participants from various colleges from 23 different states of our country for their active participation and interaction with the speaker in this webinar. Thank you very much for sparing your precious time. Once again, thank you so much to one and all for being here with us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. There's an announcement to the participants. The feedback link has been posted in the chat box, and in all the 13 groups, the feedback link will be posted soon. So kindly fill your feedback form and then you'll get the certificate of the national webinar. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you all.
Very nice to be together, all of us. And it was a really great experience to be together this morning till afternoon.